It's one of those days we don't wanna wake up. Everything is fine, everybody's done. You don't really know why, but you have got to fight. No human contact. If you interact, your life is on contract. You best pass and stay away, motherfucker. Stop the he said bullshit. I think you better quit, let it slip. You'll be legal with a fat lip. Stop the he said bullshit. I think you better quit.
it from last night. We are live, man. Man, am I exhausted, bro. We got a lot to go over today. SummerSlam is tonight from Las Vegas. We're going to be going over all of the matches, preview, and predictions. But will anybody be talking about SummerSlam? CM Punk has absolutely taken over the wrestling world, and I have news right at the top about what Punk is going to be doing with AEW and what his contract status is. Also, the big story going into SummerSlam is, will Sasha Banks be there? The last I heard is that the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair will not be happening. Ladies and gentlemen, I got it all for you, packed into one show with your SummerSlam news and preview and predictions. We're gonna do it right tonight. This is episode 387 of Off the Screen. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me on this SummerSlam Saturday. It is August 21, 2021. I am JD from New York. And welcome to the OTS venue, man. It's happy hour. It's happy hour in the venue. All drafts are $4 each. And all signature cocktails are $6 each. And then you guys can join me for the main event tonight, which is SummerSlam. At the venue, as always, make your reservations right now, man. Listen, I am exhausted. By the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the music at the beginning of the show, man. I needed something to wake me up. I needed some aggressive music. So we started off with Werewolves and their cover of Limp Bizkit, Break Stuff. And then I went into some Carl Casey, Death Sentence, which is always a classic track here on the podcast. And then I went into my brother Legionary, Frank Legionary, old track, not new. Not new. That Legionary track was called Badge of Honor. If anybody is wondering, man, they are on Bandcamp if you guys want to go purchase their music. But my brother has new music coming out. It should be imminently. Next couple of weeks. I should have it by all out, no question. And man, oh man, you'll be hearing that in the beginning of the podcast as you guys wait in line to get inside the venue, man. But I am exhausted. I really am exhausted, man. I think I got maybe 1-2 hours at most sleep last night. After a night like last night, man, you can't sleep. You really can't sleep. And the wrestling world has changed, at least for the foreseeable future. Something like that last night, man. I think I watched the clip of the initial explosion and the reaction to Punk. I at least Had to watch that shit about 10 different times, man. Really. It was bone chilling. It was amazing. The emotion in everybody, the emotion in him, the emotion that we all shared last night in this very venue on the podcast last night. We had 5,700 people on the channel last night live. We shattered records. We shattered records last night, man. I still don't even know what to think or what to say. The super chats were absolutely out of this world. The love and support is out of this world. We just hit 126,000 subscribers because of last night. We have 33,000 followers on Twitter because of last night. It's crazy. If WWE is not panicking, man, if Vince McMahon and his team are not panicking, I don't know what to do or what to say to them. I don't. I've given them every opportunity to get better. They just refuse to get better. I've given them every chance to turn it around and create television that we want to watch every single week, to create characters, to create professional wrestlers that we want to invest our time in, only to see them wasted, only to see them fired, only to see the work of Paul Levesque ruined. We've given them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and last night, within 20 minutes, Tony Khan has killed all hype for SummerSlam. I know you are not excited about what is happening tonight outside of the norm. I don't want to take anything away from Edge or Seth Rollins or John Cena and Roman Reigns. I'm very much looking forward to what those four men do tonight. But as a whole, it is certainly looking more and more like a summer scam than it is a bigger party that WWE has ever thrown any summer. The biggest party of the summer. Certainly doesn't feel it. Doesn't look that way. Seems like the biggest party of the summer was happening right in Chicago in the United Center and will continue on into September 5th for AEW All Out. We got a lot to go over today, man. We got a lot to go over today. I don't want to waste too much of your time, but I want to say again, thank you to everybody, man. If I manage to get through this show in one piece without mumbling or stuttering over my words, I will be a very happy individual. I am exhausted. I woke up this morning around 10 o'clock. I had breakfast. I went back to sleep on the couch till about 1:30, and then I got myself ready to sit here live. So my Saturday afternoon is pretty much a wash because I'll be here, and then I'll probably take another 1 hour nap, get ready for SummerSlam, and be here live at midnight because this is going to be a 4-hour plus show. Kill me now. Kill me now. First and foremost, guys, tonight I'll be doing a giveaway. Everybody that buys a drink in the venue, a.k.a. Super Chats, everybody that buys a drink in the venue tonight and Super Chats tonight during the SummerSlam post show, I will be giving away a tipple glass. And as you guys see here, I hope the green screen doesn't fuck it up. This is a tipple beer glass, man. Look at all the WWE old school insignia stickers that are on the glass. You got the Hart Foundation. You got the old school WWF logo. You got the Ultimate Warrior. You got the Undertaker. You got Andre, you got Hulk, you got Davey Boy Smith, you got Bret Hart, you got Owen Hart, you got Ric Flair. Then on the bottom, you got Macho Man, you got Jake, you got the Honky Tonk Man, you got, who is that, Road Warrior? That's the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior, Mr. Perfect, Legion of Doom, Roddy Piper. You guys can actually have this tonight. Every single Super Chat, you guys will be in a raffle. And Hoot Media is going to randomly choose you, and you may win this beautiful tipple glass tonight during the SummerSlam post show, man. So everybody that buys a drink at the bar, a.k.a. Super Chats, is going to get a tipple glass. I already have a second one already wrapped up, brand new, shipped out immediately to the winner. So make sure you guys get in on that. It's one of my favorite glasses to drink cold beverages out of, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Secondly, I was talking to the EmojiCon people for all the members, all the VIPs of the OTS family. You guys will be getting emojis within the month. We are still going over what is needed, and they will be designing very shortly. So make sure you guys join the channel down below. You guys can go do that, and you'll have access to them in roughly a month. Third, new t-shirt coming out. Spoke to the designer. It should be 4 to 6 weeks until the design is finished. He is hand-drawing it all. He's hand-drawing it all. He does a lot of work independently for a lot of wrestlers on the scene. He's done death metal covers. He's done work for Pro Wrestling Tees. And this design is going to be better than anything that we've ever released ever. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible, man. Wait till you see this one. That's going to be on sale. As of right now, you guys can go get t-shirts down below. Bonfire is officially partnered with YouTube, and it's the official home of Off the Script. As you see underneath the video screen you're watching right now, you guys can go and get yourself any t-shirt you want, courtesy of Off the Script. Bonfire.com. That is down below. Click the link, click the shirt. It'll take you right to the website, and you guys can go get your own JD t-shirts and support the podcast. I know a lot of people are having a struggle and some problems getting a CM Punk t-shirt on AEW Shop and Pro Wrestling Tees. I am happy to announce that I got my CM Punk t-shirt. It is ordered, and it is on the way. So I'm grateful for that. Also, make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Become part of the family. Turn on that bell for notifications. If you guys missed anything on the channel this week, which was a big week, and still it is a big weekend yet to come, go check out everything that you might have missed on the channel. It is live on the homepage as we speak. So make sure you guys go and do that for me. Lots of stuff on there. Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite, SmackDown, and Rampage from last night, and extra. Lots of stuff there, man. So go and check it all out. And today's show is sponsored by Manscaped. My boys over at Manscaped. Manscaped.com. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT20 to save 20% off their new Lawnmower 4.0 and their new nose and ear trimmer, which is fantastic. I use it weekly. I love it. Plus, they got a bunch of deodorants for the smelliest part of your bodies. Your world champions. They got a lot of stuff to make sure you guys are really keeping up on your hygiene, man. Don't be a sweaty wrestling nerd. Don't be a sweaty wrestling geek. Don't be one of these degenerates that dwells in the bowels of the basement of Twitter. Don't do it. Make sure you guys got Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Use code SCRIPT20 at checkout to save 20% off. Let's start right at the top, man. Going to start right at the top and hot with CM Punk being that he's the biggest talk of the town and will be all weekend. He will be going into his first AEW Dynamite appearance on Wednesday in Milwaukee. Tony Khan and CM Punk, I did not know this until this morning, had a post-show scrum together for nearly 45 minutes. They talked about what is going to happen and what is going to come out of this partnership with CM Punk and AEW. He's under a full-time deal. He is open to working New Japan's G1 and wants to work with young talent. These are the notes from the media scrum. Punk and Khan did not give specifics on the deal, but Khan made it clear that Punk is not wrestling part-time. He is with AEW full-time. So fans of Punk will be seeing a lot of him over the next couple of years, possibly even longer. This will be his home until he retires. That is a given. Later in the scrum, Punk said he wants to do everything, including some commentary, which, again, I have no problem with. Punk was a master on commentary. Punk is scheduled to be at Dynamite on Wednesday, and he will face Darby Allin on September 5th at All Out. That is in Chicago, the Now Center. That is Labor Day weekend. That will be on pay-per-view. Punk says that he was in talks with AEW and Tony Khan for about a year and a half. And I find that to be almost justified in my behavior and I'm going to sit here and pat myself on the back for that one, man. You know, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a reporter. I'm not like a Sap or Raj Giri on Wrestling Inc. I'm not like Mike Johnson or anything. I don't break news. I don't have sources. I just go based off what I see and what I know, and I go based off gut feeling, because that's all I have. But I know I said it years ago. I know I said it with Jesse on Wednesday's show. Said it years ago. I don't think Punk would be in AEW without Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan signed, and then that was pretty much the, you know what, we're sticking the white flag in this fucking mountaintop, and we're going to go to war. And we're going to do our thing, and we're going to bring this company to as close to WWE as possible. We are going to change the industry. I don't think Punk signs without Daniel Bryan finally putting pen to paper. I truly believe that. I think they're in this together. I said it then. If Daniel Bryan, and we talked about this, Daniel Bryan was rumored to be a free agent, not this last time, but the time before. It was a couple of SummerSlams ago, before he signed with WWE and went on this recent run. Everybody was like, oh, Daniel Bryan's leaving. Daniel Bryan's going back to the Indies. Daniel Bryan's going to New Japan. Daniel Bryan's going back to Ring of Honor. And I said, if Daniel Bryan goes back to the Indies, AEW wasn't even around. AEW wasn't even a thought. If Daniel Bryan goes back to the Indies, CM Punk will come out of retirement. Wherever Daniel Bryan goes, CM Punk will follow. They're almost mirror images of each other. That didn't happen. Daniel Bryan stayed with WWE. It was almost strategic in decision. Wait a little bit longer. I have a feeling something's about to go down. AEW became a thing. In the middle of Daniel Bryan's recent run with WWE, they got hot. It was the talk of the town. Daniel Bryan, there was nothing left for him to do in WWE anymore. And now he's not with the company. Signed with AEW. Rumored to be debuting any week now. Rumored to be debuting right here in New York City at Arthur Ashe Stadium, September 22nd for Dynamite Grand Slam. They are in this together. And then months and months and months with all the CM Punk innuendo. Even before Double or Nothing, even before Christian Cage was announced and Tony Khan marked himself out by hyping up a big return to pro wrestling and AEW signing a legend, future Hall of Famer, and ended up being Christian Cage, and everybody was disappointed with it. He made the mistake of getting people's hopes up, thinking that it was CM Punk, only to debut Christian Cage. It fell flat on its face. We said it going into that show. I would not be surprised if Tony Khan has CM Punk in his back pocket, waiting to unleash that ace in the hole that gave him the winning hand. And that's exactly what he did. Tony Khan played a game of poker. Tony Khan waited and waited and waited. Minimum bet. Minimum bet. Minimum bet. Check. Minimum bet. Waiting for that one big fucking flop on the river. Motherfucker, I got this one. I got it. And I just won the house cash prize. There you go. I can imagine Tony Khan sitting there with a pair of glasses on, man. Stoic in look. Just looking around the table. And you don't know when he's looking at you and what that man is thinking. That's exactly what he did. He played the greatest game of poker, and Tony Khan won the fucking World Series. That's exactly what he did with CM Punk. He waited. I knew this man was in discussions with Punk. I knew Punk was in discussions with Tony Khan. I knew it. There was no other place for CM Punk to go. It was either AEW or the man fully retires. And here we are. Last night, we were gifted one of the greatest moments that this industry will ever see. This shit made grown men cry last night. I don't remember a time I watched a reaction that big. I don't. The only thing comparable to it is Daniel Bryan winning the World Championship at WrestleMania. That's it. So yes, talking for a year and a half, I don't doubt that at all. At all. As noted before, Khan has said in interviews that Punk was one of the guys he wanted to sign when he launched the company initially. Punk said during the scrum that he didn't want to debut in AEW without fans being there. Punk had positive things to say about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and mentioned her as an example of someone who got over. Punk said it was all Khan's idea to have him face Darby Allin, and if he was a kid, Allin would be his favorite wrestler. Punk also put over AEW as a place that lets people learn from mistakes. Previously, wrestlers would make mistakes and would get fired. Presumably, he was talking about WWE. Punk says it was Renee Paquette who helped to get Punk to dip his toe into the water on WWE backstage, working for Fox. He was never contractually tied to WWE. It was a Fox deal. Fox is pissed, I'm sure, that WWE let this man go without any creative incentive, without any plan to use him, with all the pettiness that they harbored over the years, all the saltiness that emanates from WWE. Fox has to be pissed. I know if I was a suit and tie working for Fox, I would be fucking fuming right now. You don't think that they wanted that fucking shit on Fox? You don't think Fox representatives wanted what you saw on Rampage, on SmackDown? WWE had fucked up. They're clueless in everything that they do. Everything that they do is fucking clueless. They don't know what to do anymore. They don't know how to react. And the only thing that they do is react when AEW does something. Which is why you're probably going to get some type of reaction tonight at SummerSlam, just so WWE can say that they swung the tides this weekend in their favor. I can tell you something right now, folks. There's nothing that WWE can do to swing any fucking momentum or any tides. Anything that they do will fall flat on its face. You want to debut Becky Lynch tonight in a match against Bianca Belair that inevitably will give Becky Lynch a win? By all means, do it. What does it mean? It means nothing. What does Becky Lynch coming back mean for WWE? It means absolutely jack shit. How does she better WWE? I want you guys to ask yourself this very question. I want you to ask all the geeks online that live and die by Becky Lynch, thinking that she's some sort of savior in WWE. How do you think this is going to help WWE? You think Becky Lynch coming back is going to help the women's division? WWE hasn't done anything to help the women's division without Becky Lynch. What do you think Becky Lynch is going to do to help the women's division? You're going to be seeing matches that don't mean anything. You're going to put Becky Lynch in a division that doesn't even resemble a division. Meanwhile, CM Punk joins AEW, and Jesus fucking Christ, the help that CM Punk is going to give AEW is out of this world. It's not even comparable. Becky Lynch would be back for Becky Lynch. CM Punk is back for pro wrestling. WWE knows this. There's nothing that they could do. Absolutely nothing that they could do. But Fox is pissed. I would be a betting man on that. Punk and Khan laughed about this being the worst kept secret in wrestling, but it was on purpose. I thought it was brilliantly played. I mean, you got to throw innuendos out there, and they did it brilliantly. Tony Khan going on Busted Open Radio and just being very coy with people. I don't have any desire to let you people down. You are not going to watch this show on Friday night and be let down. Simple. He handled it masterfully. Kenny Omega coming out with a Cookie Monster t-shirt. Kenny Omega coming out with a Chick Magnet t-shirt. Darby Allin teasing best in the world in Chicago. I'll see you there. It was beautifully done. Beautifully done. And they sold out the United Center on innuendo. On Easter eggs. They sold out the United Center. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And for all the geeks that say CM Punk is not a needle mover, go look at all the retention. I can give you my analytics firsthand, my personal analytics on Twitter if you so desire. Millions and millions and millions of views all across YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. WWE superstars reacting to it very inconspicuously, mind you. Some deleted tweets because they didn't want to get caught up in the shitstorm. Secondary market tickets for All Out now are $1,000 plus. But CM Punk isn't a draw. Sure thing. Punk was happy that he wasn't advertised, so basically it sounds like the idea was for this story to get out and build anticipation. Masterful. Punk noted how the AEW roster kept Brody Lee's illness a secret, and that made an impression on him. He added that he was talking with talent backstage before he walked out, and he wasn't hidden from anyone. When asked if he was, or if he has smoothed things over with certain people, he says he hadn't had an issue with anyone. Punk and Colt Cabana had a falling out years ago, so I'm assuming that he does not have any issue with Colt Cabana, as people were making that a big deal with him him returning to AEW upon his debut, having issue with Colt Cabana. Punk said that he's not back for wins and losses. He is here to give back, and he doesn't think that he ever hated pro wrestling. Punk said what he despised was not professional wrestling. Punk talked about some of the people that he would like to work with, including the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Brian Pillman Jr., Will Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and Jon Moxley. Interesting group of people there. Punk said he wants to help the young talent the same way that Harley Race, Terry Funk, and Eddie Guerrero helped him. He also mentioned Tracy Smothers, who just recently passed away. Punk said he considers himself to be an AEW and TNT guy in front and behind the camera, but if Tony Khan asks him to be in the G1, then they will talk about it. The winds of change, folks. The winds of change. They're being felt. You see it. You feel it. You hear it. Everything about last night is going to resonate with a lot of people for a very long time. I've had people who have stopped watching wrestling. I have had people who do not care for pro wrestling tweet me, text me, is now the time for me to get back into professional wrestling? My answer is simply yes. This moment has brought back people that hated professional wrestling for the last 20 fucking years. You have watched a dying product creatively make fun of you, treat you like a fucking idiot, and don't care about anything that you do as long as you give them what they want monetarily. We have been disappointed. We have been hurt. We have been saddened. We have been depressed by what happens on Monday and Friday night with little to no care, with little to no effort. 20 years. 20 years. Why would you not embrace what happened last night? Why would you not now begin to watch professional wrestling? Punk said on August 5th, 2005, he left professional wrestling. On August 20th, 2001, he returns to professional wrestling. That is all we ever wanted. I don't know how many times I need to explain this to everybody. All we ever wanted as a fan base is to not be mocked, not be treated like an idiot. All we wanted was professional wrestling. WWE is no longer considered professional wrestling in my eyes. It's a fucking circus. WWE does not resemble professional wrestling in any way. What you're going to watch tonight at SummerSlam does not resemble professional wrestling for 4 hours. There'll be sprinkles of professional wrestling. But what you're watching tonight with SummerScam, it's not professional wrestling. I want a product, I want a show, I want a promotion that's going to make wins and losses matter. I want a promotion that's going to take what we see on weekly television and bring it to future pieces of television and go back on storylines and make every show count. I want divisions, I want championships meaning something. I want its talent actually on television, happy to be there instead of watching people go through the motions that I've watched so much over the last 20 years. I don't want to listen to creative fucking suits and ties tell me what they think is right. Meanwhile, everything that they do is fucking wrong. Meanwhile, we have a guy like Tony Khan, who is a fan himself, running this business, running this company, and he hasn't made a fucking single mistake that I could really look at him in the eye and say, you know what, Tony, you fucked up on. Maybe the Christian Cage one. But creatively, we have not had anything to really sit down and criticize Tony Khan on. He's got a lot of smart people backstage. He's bringing in a lot of smart people still with the likes of Ruby Soho, Wyndham Rotunda, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. He brought in Malachi Black. Cody Rhodes is this generation's greatest storyteller. The Young Bucks are fantastic. Kenny Omega. These are professional wrestlers who know what to give back to the fans who want professional wrestling. That's all we ever wanted. I want my wrestling raw. I want my wrestling gritty. I want my wrestling to be exactly the way we have seen it the last 2 years with AEW. Look at the difference between Monday Night Raw and AEW. How do you work for that company and think what you're doing is best for the industry? What you're doing is best for WWE monetarily. That show is fucking hideous. Absolutely hideous. I don't know why anybody would want to watch that show over what you're watching on Wednesday night. I don't know why anybody would frown upon CM Punk being back in AEW. The game has changed. The industry, as we see it, has changed. WWE is in fucking trouble. They are. They will see it firsthand going into next week. I can't wait to see what happens with CM Punk being back. I haven't been this excited for professional wrestling in years. In years. And this is only the tip of the iceberg, folks. This is only the tip of the fucking iceberg. I'm going to quote Dr. Disrespect on this because I think he's fucking great. I'm at the tippity top. And we're only halfway up. AEW isn't even halfway up, man. Look at what is still to come. And probably the most exciting thing of all, outside Bryan, is Adam Cole and what he does. Can you imagine a roster with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, Malachi Black? I mean, how could you not embrace what these people are doing? How? Why would WWE even exist in your life? WWE has deviated away from what is most important. And they become a shell of what they used to be. Vince McMahon's mentality is, let me throw money at it. Maybe it'll make it better. Let me throw money at it. Maybe it'll make it better. Will this fix the problem? No. WWE is not in the market for professional wrestling. They are only in the market to make themselves more money. They're sucking the blood, the remaining blood that is left in that company for themselves. They don't give a shit about its roster. They don't give a shit about its fans. AEW is for us. It is run by people that have been ingrained in professional wrestling, and it is showing. This should be a moment that brings everybody together, man. If you're not on board, get on board. If you still refuse to get on board, I'll be the first fucking person to kick you the fuck out. Get out. You want to go watch a fucking circus? I'll turn on USA Network at 8 p.m. and you could sit there and watch your fucking hideous program that does nothing to resemble professional wrestling. You want to watch professional wrestling? You want to see me with a fucking smile on my face? You want to see me not yelling at the top of my fucking lungs about how shit doesn't make sense and how shit sucks? Then you catch me watching AEW on Wednesday nights with Dynamite. Yeah, the best alternative to anything WWE in the company, the closest thing to resemble an AEW, and what did they do? They killed it. NXT is dead. If they killed NXT the way that they did so viciously, you think that's a group of people that loves professional wrestling? NXT is now the developmental system for AEW. Just keep that in mind. There's more still to come. NXT's been treating Adam Cole and nurturing Adam Cole for the last 4 years so that Tony Khan could reap the benefits. Watch. Watch. Love it. He's back, and I can't wait to see what he does. Survivor Series. WWE has finally announced Survivor Series will be in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I will not be attending because fuck the E. WWE confirmed the news this week in a press conference, or a press release, I should say. that also announced over 30 live events for the rest of 2021. Andrew Zarian of the Matt podcast first indicated in June that the arena would be getting a pay-per-view event this year, and then it happened. He reported this back in July. This will be a big event as The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is reportedly planned to be there. It will commemorate his 25th anniversary of his debut with WWE as he worked his first televised WWE match in 1996 by being a part of a traditional Survivor Series bout in Madison Square Garden. It's possible that with The Rock appearing at the Survivor Series, WWE will probably kick off their build, he and Roman, for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania in Dallas, filling supposedly 100,000 seats at Dallas Stadium. AT&T Stadium, I believe it's called, right? WWE reportedly wants to book a singles match between them at WrestleMania 38 or WrestleMania 39. There was also a weird rumor going around that WWE actually discussed a tag team match as well involving The Rock and Reigns, with each one of them teaming with one of the Uso brothers. Negative. You either give me Rock versus Roman or give me nothing at all. I'm not interested in anything regarding the Usos. Rock versus Roman, and that is it. WWE will more than likely shill this to the fucking sun. They will never let go of this because of what happened in AEW. Oh, look, we got The Rock. He's a bigger star than CM Punk. Who do they think they are? We got The Rock. Well, you better use The Rock as best you can because this is it for him. He's 50 years old, and I don't even know if he's capable of even going in the ring at his age, especially with Hollywood and all the insurance policies that are on that man for Hollywood. But the only thing that makes sense is to bring him back and feud him with Roman Reigns because this entire Tribal Chief storyline, this entire head of the table storyline for his family leads to The Rock. They are both Anoa'i. So clearly, Rock needs to be here to finish up said storyline. And Roman Reigns should not lose that Universal Championship then, now, and forever. Give me a break. Roman Reigns is going to run through John Cena tonight. Roman Reigns is going to run through Finn Balor. Roman Reigns is going to run through Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns is going to run through whoever else WWE throws at him in the beginning of the year. He's going to run through The Rock. Roman Reigns is not losing that Universal Championship. If they do anything tonight to take that belt off of Roman Reigns, I may never watch WWE again. Now, I say that very haphazardly. I need to watch WWE, but that's how serious of an error it would be. Colossal. Maybe one of the worst booking decisions, if not the worst booking decision that WWE could have possibly ever made by taking that belt off Roman Reigns. Has his reign been as good as it was when it first started? No. But WWE is to blame for that. They don't really have anyone lined up that is even legitimate enough to stand face-to-face in the same ring with Roman. This is what happens when you book Roman at such a high level and do nothing to build anybody else underneath him to be at that level. I'd even take someone that's here and Roman be up here. Just make it legit. They refuse to build any new stars. That's their fucking problem. John Cena is back because WWE needed a big event of this magnitude in front of fans. Big E was not going to be it. Drew McIntyre wasn't going to be it. Anybody else on SmackDown wasn't going to be it. The only reason why John Cena is back is because they needed a big main event for a SummerSlam of this magnitude in a stadium with 50,000 people. From what I read, 44,000 people. It's not even close to a sellout. I thought it was sold out. They still got 2,000 tickets on sale for tonight's show. But then I got the geeks telling me that the United Center wasn't sold out and CM Punk is not going to move the needle. So, goes to show you what the fucking lower pendulum of Twitter think. The basement dwellers on Twitter think. Give me a break. Survivor Series is probably going to be built around The Rock and nothing else going into it. I don't know if WWE is going to do or build Survivor Series around the brand versus brand warfare when there hasn't even been one iota of a fucking hint that there is brand warfare between Raw and SmackDown. So why bother? Why bother? Had people tell me, the brand split can't happen because Fox and USA Network won't allow it. They like these separate rosters. Fuck what USA Network and Fox think. It's killing the fucking product. End the brand split. Give me traditional Survivor Series. You got fucking tag team matches every fucking week that mean nothing. You can't book a fucking Survivor Series? I'm not excited about it at all. They let everybody down with this brand split. They let everybody down with this brand warfare shit. Nothing means anything. I've given them fucking clues and hints and fucking directive on this show on how to make Survivor Series important. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody. If anybody's going to be qualifying for these Raw and SmackDown men's and women's teams, the winner of the men's or women's Survivor Series teams, the winner of this brand warfare shit, if you're Team Raw or Team SmackDown, you should automatically be placed in December's TLC match for an opportunity at the WWE Championship in a ladder match. You win that briefcase, you cash in the number one contendership of your WWE Championship or Universal Championship, whatever. Whoever wins the fucking match at the Royal Rumble. So if Monday Night Raw wins the Survivor Series, then we get a number one contendership for the WWE Championship. The winner of that TLC match gets a title match at the Royal Rumble. You just bridged Survivor Series, TLC, and the Royal Rumble together, man. I just booked 3 pay-per-views for you in less than 20 seconds. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Why is it so easy for me to come up with something and WWE fails to do anything that makes sense? Survivor Series in Barclays, great. I hope you're all vaccinated, otherwise you won't be able to go. Royal Rumble, moved to February possibly. I talked about this on the extra that I did this week. This is coming from a report from Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp. St. Louis, Missouri is the frontrunner to host the 2022 Royal Rumble. No date was confirmed, but it was stated that this was the thinking as of a month ago. The report also stated that the current idea would see the Royal Rumble held in February for the first time in company history. One of the more interesting notes about the Royal Rumble is that there has been significant internal discussion about it actually happening in early February for the first time in history. It was noted that those in WWE were under the impression that St. Louis hosting next year's Royal Rumble event would be the end game. It was also made clear that no venue was mentioned for the event in February. I mentioned this on my extra. If WWE is going to do the Royal Rumble in February, they need to absolutely 100% without fucking question eliminate the Elimination Chamber. They have a pay-per-view supposedly on the first day of the year. I believe it falls on a Sunday or a Saturday. I'm not sure. They have this New Year's Day pay-per-view. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's going to be just next year only. I don't know. With this company, things are changing every fucking second. I have no idea. But if the Royal Rumble is going to be moved to February, at least for this year, then you cannot have a Royal Rumble and an Elimination Chamber in the same month. Now, typically, WWE always does what they think is best, which is normally the wrong way to go about it. And in typical WWE fashion, I see them absolutely moving the Royal Rumble to February if they could do it. And I say eliminate the Elimination Chamber. They probably won't do that. They'll get rid of Fastlane, and they'll move the Elimination Chamber to March. Maybe that's their line of thinking. I don't know. But the way I think it's best is you do this New Year's show in January. You do Royal Rumble in February. You have no pay-per-view in March. And the first weekend in April is dedicated to WrestleMania. Why do we need a pay-per-view 3 weeks before WrestleMania in Dallas? Why does that ever need to happen? It's great for me. I don't give a shit. More revenue for me. More live streams for me. More content for you. Great. But I'm for the product. I'm for what's best for the creative. That's what I want. That's what I do. That's what I've always been about. There's no need for a Fastlane pay-per-view 3 weeks before WrestleMania. So if you do the Royal Rumble in February, there better not be a fucking Elimination Chamber. In fact, get rid of the Elimination Chamber, get rid of Money in the Bank, and get rid of Hell in a Cell. And get rid of Extreme Rules. Get rid of these gimmick pay-per-views, period. TLC as well. Get rid of all 5 of them. WWE has some creative people backstage. Why don't we dip into the old school pond and bring back an Armageddon? Why don't we go back and bring back something along the lines of a No Way Out or something like that? Why do we need to base these pay-per-views off of gimmick matches and go with Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs, and in some years, stairs. How lame. How lame. I'm sure you guys in this chat, all 2,100 of you, can come up with better fucking pay-per-view names than WWE's gimmick pay-per-views. Get rid of them. You kill the Elimination Chamber concept, dead. Dead. Instead of doing it for the WWE Championship #1 contender, you put the WWE title on the line and fucked everything up this year. Look at what they did this year. Look at what they did with Shayna Baszler last year. She eliminated all 5 women in the chamber and still went on to go to WrestleMania and lose. What is the fucking point? They have ruined the concept. None of it is ever good anymore. Money in the Bank. Nobody knows what to fucking do with the briefcase. There have been now 2 years in a row where the briefcase has been stolen. Last year, it was up in a fucking jury with Otis and Miz. Now this year, Baron Corbin, who looks like a fucking hobo that should be sitting behind the goddamn dumpster behind the venue, has stolen Big E's briefcase. This is the plan for Money in the Bank. If that is the best you got for Money in the Bank, you might as well just fucking scrap it. Honestly. And WWE does nothing with the briefcase anyway, even if they don't have a thievery storyline. Look at what they did with Nikki Cross. Less than 24 hours, we had to cash in. That's WWE pretty much telling you without actually telling you, you know what, we're void of all creativity. We don't want to be bothered with this shit to book this shit over a 6 to 12 month period, even though we know that's what the rule states. So we're just going to cash it in 24 hours after she won it so we don't have to be bothered with it. Bruce Pritchard. Give me a break. Moving the Royal Rumble till February or to February, better eliminate the Elimination Chamber. That's all I'm saying. Get rid of it. Roman Reigns. I know there were a lot of people in the community talking about Roman Reigns' comments to Ariel Helwani for BT Sport. He was interviewed by Ariel Helwani talking about SummerSlam. Reigns says CM Punk wasn't as good or as over as John Cena or The Rock. Now, before I get into what he was saying here, I don't hold any ill will towards Roman Reigns at all. This is more than likely Roman Reigns in character. I think Roman Reigns was saying whatever he can to generate a reaction. But man, oh man, I mean, if you're Roman Reigns and you're looking back on this interview right now, and you're looking back at the statement that you gave to Ariel Helwani after we saw what happened in Chicago last night on AEW Rampage, if I am Roman Reigns, I am feeling like the biggest fucking idiot in the entire industry right now. You're probably looking back at this interview, if you're Roman Reigns, telling yourself, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But Roman Reigns is as WWE as they come. Roman Reigns is channeling his inner Vince McMahon during these interviews. He is the face of the company. Roman Reigns is going to say and do whatever Vince McMahon would say or do because that's the face of the company. So everybody making videos on this, separate videos on it, I didn't. Because I thought it was fucking comedy at best. But I'm going to talk about it here. Anything that was said in regards to CM Punk not moving the needle, not being as big as John Cena or The Rock, I'm sorry. Who is John Cena's #1 opponent in the history of John Cena's career? That would be Phil Brooks. That would be CM Punk. Now, it is an argument to be made. It could be CM Punk. It could be AJ Styles. It could be Umaga. It could be Edge. It could be Randy Orton. But that's a typical WWE answer because that's a WWE guy in Randy Orton. AJ Styles is not a WWE guy. Umaga had a very short shelf life. Edge is a WWE guy. CM Punk is not a WWE guy, so CM Punk would never be in discussion amongst the elite as John Cena's greatest opponent or greatest rival, but he certainly brought John Cena to the best matches of his career. The best storyline that John Cena's ever been in. Roman Reigns looks like a blithering idiot after this comment after Friday. Reigns talks about some of the statements said in the past about legends taking away spots from full-timers and said that those statements come from people like CM Punk. Well, let me bring up the man who's coming back to the world of professional wrestling just so that I could bury him underneath the bus. Throw him underneath the bus. It's great. All you're doing is making yourself look stupid. Reigns says this: those statements come from bitter people who thought they were better than they really are. When it comes down to it, CM Punk was not as good or as over as John Cena. I fail to see how, or I beg to differ, Mr. Reigns. I'm not sure where your ears are or if you got a build-up, but I think CM Punk's reaction in Chicago last night was 5 times the amount of what John Cena's was when he came back for Money in the Bank. Just saying. Just saying. He wasn't as good or as over and moved the needle like The Rock. All right. I mean, you're comparing CM Punk to The Rock, but you got someone in Roman Reigns who's talking about CM Punk not comparing to The Rock, when in reality, Roman Reigns isn't a fucking iota on Dwayne's ass. So, what type of statement is that? CM Punk is not as over or a needle mover like The Rock, but neither is Roman Reigns in comparison to The Rock. So I don't really get that argument. What type of bullshit is that? If you really want to boil it down, the only one comparable to The Rock, you got to go to the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got to go to the likes of Hulk Hogan. You got to go to the likes of Ric Flair. Roman Reigns isn't even comparable to The Rock. It was what it was. From a full-time performer, I understand the frustration and wanting more. But like I said before, you gotta take it. That is not true at all. WWE gives you whatever they want. If you don't want it, then they're not going to use you. Don't take it. Stay off TV. This is what you got to do. He comes off and says something like, you got to take it. You got to be more assertive. You can't be more assertive in that company. They don't want anything to do with you. They want to give you what they think is best and fuck what you think and what you feel. I'm a full-time performer, but I've done everything that needs to be done to stay at this position, to be in this position, to continue to make opportunity for myself, to be in the main event of SummerSlam against John Cena. Because everybody has the same opportunities and the same fucking say as Roman Reigns backstage, right? Because everybody operates just like Roman Reigns. Everybody gets the same amount of equal that Roman Reigns gets backstage, right? Roman Reigns could fucking breathe in the backstage area and do no wrong. Could say whatever he wants. He could do whatever he wants. He could fucking be as big of a prick as he wants to anybody. What are they going to do? Fire him? Suspend him? Take the Universal title off of him? This man can do no wrong. Roman Reigns can legitimately commit cold-blooded murder backstage, and nobody will bat an eyelash. But he's saying everybody needs to be assertive. I've done everything to stay in this position, to make opportunity for myself. Opportunity is not earned in WWE. Opportunity is given when they see fit. How many people have been fired for the opportunity? How many people have been let go for opportunity? Half of the people that were let go were never given an opportunity to show what they could do. Never. They've asked. They've cried. They've yelled on the highest mountain. Aleister Black released. Andrade released. Bronson Reed released. Bray Wyatt released. Buddy Murphy released. Ruby Riott released. And more to come. More to come. Reigns says that someone like Cena has earned the right to come back as an occasional attraction. That I would agree with. John Cena was the absolute workhorse of that company. John Cena was around at the top longer than Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan. While speaking to Ariel Helwani, Roman Reigns addressed John Cena's promo where he mentioned Jon Moxley. Cena said that Reigns ran Dean Ambrose out of WWE, something Seth Rollins got a kick out of hearing. Reigns dismissed that aspect of the promo as merely energetic words on Cena's part. You tell me. That's what I'm saying. There are levels to this game, man. Like, John has skills, right? He's charismatic. He's a great public speaker. He has good energy. He really understands crowd reaction. And it's like, when you don't have good stuff to say, let's just pander to the crowd. That's what he did. The whole world may not be as informed. It's like a professional watching another professional, and I could see that he had nothing for me. So he is just doing that to spin game, and then, oh, they are counting to 3 with me. Let's say that over. Marketing strategy. Let's condition them and do it 14 times. But when it comes down to it, there were nothing that he was saying. There was no connection, so I don't have a clue. As I said, it was quite the experience to see him out there. It was just words, a whole bunch of energetic words. Dean, obviously, is doing what Dean is doing, you know. I think he's happy over in AEW. But if he could have been the man here, he would have been the man here. But he couldn't be the man here because I'm the man here. Seth Rollins is going through the same thing, but he is doing great. And I can say that as someone who is still I'm doing better than him. I'm the Universal Champion. I'm the head of the table. It's all mine. This is my company. But he is still a great talent who is doing some of the best work of his career. Now, the only reason why he's saying that about Seth Rollins is because he is still with WWE. If Tyler Black went to AEW, he'd probably be saying the same thing about Tyler Black not being able to make it in WWE because he couldn't. So Dean Ambrose went over to AEW, now Jon Moxley. So it's easier for him to rag on Jon Moxley because Jon Moxley's not with WWE anymore. But Jon Moxley never got an opportunity to be the top guy. Well, he did, but WWE really never went all the way with him. It was like half-assed. Then they wanted to change him, and they wanted to mold him in whatever Vince McMahon's vision was, and he didn't want any part of it. He wanted to be more like Jon Moxley that you see today, but Vince didn't have a fucking clue. This is what happens when you don't listen to the talent who obviously knows what's best for them. A 60-year-old Bruce Pritchard and a 76-year-old Vince McMahon is not going to know what's best for a fucking 35-year-old Jon Moxley. It's not possible. That's why the company is fucking creatively going under. Creatively going under. Roman Reigns said one thing in this entire interview that made sense. Cena has earned the right to come back as an occasional attraction. He's busted his ass and held that company on his back for 15 years. He has absolutely earned the right to come back and do whatever he wants and wrestle whoever he wants. John Cena is not a Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg is not a WWE guy. Goldberg comes back and everybody fucking cringes. John Cena comes back and I think there's genuine happiness about John Cena because we all relate to John Cena in some way, shape, or form. And we know what that man meant to WWE, so it's a little bit easier to welcome him with open arms than welcome a fucking Bill Goldberg back who clearly deserves nothing. WWE is looking at off-site events similar to Major League Baseball's Field of Dreams game. Now, the Yankees and the White Sox drew the best rating for a regular season game in 16 years with a 5.9 million viewership. I, unfortunately, did not catch a glimpse of this, but I seen screenshots, and it looked awesome. It looked awesome. This was obviously a unique location, and it was a major success, and now WWE is looking for ideas to do the same thing. Typically, I would frown upon WWE for trying to go out and follow everything else that is leading in sports. WWE are not leaders, they are followers, but this is something that I would absolutely do if I was WWE. And they have places to go, and they have opportunity to make it special. Absolutely. WrestleVolt reported this week that WWE has begun initial discussions about doing off-site events in 2022, and some of those ideas include doing Raw on a roof, presumably doing Raw on top of WWE headquarters is being considered. There's also talk of doing Raw at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, which was the site of one of my favorite, if not my most favorite pay-per-view of all time, ECW One Night Stand 2005 and 2006. And more direct festival shows like Rolling Loud, which I thought was a complete failure. And I thought there was nothing but a political propaganda behind that, a political agenda behind that. I thought that was awful. It was an awful look for WWE, as it did nothing to enhance the product, and it did nothing to get the product in front of new eyes and ears. Nothing. As previously noted, there is pressure to get ratings back up now that they are back on the road. Another great thing that WWE is looking at doing is more theme shows such as Raw Roulette. And it is rumored, and more than likely going to happen as we go into October, a King and Queen of the Ring tournament will be taking place on Raw and on SmackDown and will conclude in Saudi Arabia on October, I believe it's 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, or October 15th, one of those days. I'm not really sure. But WWE is looking at theme shows. I'm all for it, man. As long as it makes sense and as long as it pertains to current storylines and kind of fits into the storylines that WWE is telling right now on TV, which obviously on Monday Night Raw, there is nothing that we really care about. But we will see what happens. I am all for off-site events. I think that sounds like a brilliant idea if I'm WWE. Let's make it happen, man. I'd love a Monday Night Raw, even at the Manhattan Center. I'd love a Monday Night Raw at the Manhattan Center, and I would love that so much. Just to be back in that venue, the original destination of Monday Night Raw, I think that would be great. But I am completely on board with off-site events. MLB-inspired WWE Championship replica belts are coming to the WWE shop in 2022. This is another great idea. Don't know why they didn't think of this beforehand, because they always give away championship belts to the winning NHL Stanley Cup winners or the Super Bowl winners or the MLB World Series winners and the NBA Finals. Triple H is always presenting team-related belts so that WWE can still maintain some sense of mainstream amongst big-time leagues and sports. But I think this is a great idea. What I don't think is a great idea is selling these WWE replica belts that look like the current championships and all you have is a team logo as the side plate, because that's exactly what they are. I've seen baseball team, basketball team replica championship belts that would put the WWE replica belts that they're about to sell in the shop to shame. I don't know why they just don't go out and hire somebody to make genuine belts for specific sports teams and then sell them. But I guess that may be too much of a arduous task. So WWE is selling replica championship belts, WWE championship belts with team side plates. So if you're a fan of the New York Yankees, you'll have Yankees side plates. If you're a fan of the Mets or the Cardinals or the Dodgers, you'll have team side plates where you see the branded wrestlers logo as side plates. That's all it is. Multi-year agreement marks first official licensing deal for WWE Championship title belts with the MLB. They say in a press release, at MLB, we are constantly looking to serve our fans with the most unique products possible so that they can support their favorite clubs and players in the way that they want. We often see baseball fans and players bringing their MLB and WWE fandom together at games and online, so this is a natural development for us to work together and offer the highest quality, official co-branded items for fans around the world. As part of the agreement, MLB and WWE will collaborate and design and manufacture team-branded title belts, as well as belts that celebrate some of the league's jewel events, such as the World Series, the All-Star Game, and the Home Run Derby. Additionally, the two sides will create custom side plates and unique Lucha Libre masks as well. Excellent idea, man. When WWE really wants to do business, they really want to do business. And when they do business, they usually do business monetarily right. This is an excellent move. I don't know why anybody would frown upon this. I think that's awesome. So that's coming in 2022. Look forward to that. WWE SmackDown ratings. This is for the 8/13 show. They were impacted by preemptions of NFL preseason games. Now, Fox, I believe, in certain markets were airing certain preseason football games. There were certain people in the community that foolishly reported WWE did a 2.5 rating for SmackDown last week, and I tweeted some of them, and I'm like, you guys are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Stop the WWE panhandling. Stop the WWE shilling. There is absolutely no fucking way humanly possible that show last week did 2.5 million viewers when the average show of the fucking Friday Night SmackDown show has been averaging anywhere between a 1.8 and a 2.0. There's no reason to believe that show did a 2.5 last week with what they put on television. And what I said, I believe I tweeted Alex McCarthy of TalkSport, but he's like, it's right there. No, it's not. I wish you'd use your fucking brain. You know, when WWE does something right, you get all the people coming out of the woodwork, man, and starting to throw parades like they did something fucking grand and spectacular. Let me tell you something. They don't deserve the adulation from the fans. They don't. So why are you so quick to panhandle WWE? What have they done for you as of late to give you anything redeeming on television? I mean, look at this fucking SummerSlam show tonight. Look! It's more like a fucking summer scam than a SummerSlam. So Meltzer even said it's not a 2.5. It's not a 2.5. Friday's show averaged 2.084. That was actually down from the 2.16 million viewers the show did the last week. Now, I don't have last night's show numbers. Usually we get the overnight numbers, but the actual rating doesn't come in until Monday or Tuesday. In the 18 to 49 demographic, the show did a 0.58. That was down from a 0.61. The overnight ratings had the show at 2.50 million viewers. SmackDown on Fox in many markets was preempted by NFL preseason games on Friday night, which resulted in the overnight ratings looking as if they had a big spike. However, that was due to the NFL viewing from those markets. Instead, SmackDown's final ratings excluded the fans in those markets that were included in the overnight ratings because they didn't watch SmackDown. Just on the NFL Network, the Bills and Lions game did 1.299 million viewers up against SmackDown. I love how everybody took a massive L for reporting the SmackDown ratings being at 2.5 last week. Maybe if you stop sucking dick, maybe the logic will flow freely through your fucking blood and into your brain. I don't even know what happened on the show last week. Clearly, if you guys watched SmackDown, it was trash. If you watched last night's SmackDown, everything that happened on the previous week happened last night. I kid you not. I kid you not. Last night's show, A, half of you probably didn't even fucking care. B, insufferable for those that had to watch, including me. Because I had a live stream to do, and I can't do a live stream without talking about what happened on SmackDown one night before SummerSlam. Dynamite. The 8/18 show remained steady, ranked number 4 on cable. Dynamite drew 975,000 live viewers, which was down from the 979,000 viewers the show did the previous week. Punk will change that. I am pretty sure of that. In the 18 to 49 demo, the show did a 0.35, which is the same the show did the week before. Dynamite ranked number 4 in the top 150 shows on cable. And in the 18 to 49 viewers, they did a 0.35. 18 to 49 male viewers, they did a 0.50. Probably neck and neck with Monday Night Raw there. Male viewers, 12 to 34, 0.29. Female viewers, 18 to 49, they did a 0.20. Dynamite was awesome. I thought Dynamite was awesome this week. Young Bucks versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus was excellent. We had Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. They had a face-to-face. Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara killed it. Darby Allin and Sting versus 2.0 in a Texas Tornado match. Killed it. Loved it. MJF and Chris Jericho, the 5th and final labor of Jericho. MJF gets the victory over Chris Jericho. Punk will be on Wednesday's Dynamite, and it's going to be a big night. His debut on Wednesday night. You know, a lot of people, I did not believe them. A lot of people in the community were reporting that this MTV The Challenge is a big ratings monster. I didn't believe them. Certainly seems to be with MTV on Wednesday nights with this MTV The Challenge. It's kind of cutting into AEW Dynamite. I don't know why. I don't know what's on that show that is so intriguing for people to watch, but here we are. And, Dynamite, a lot of people are in the community are like, oh, well, they dip below 1 million. They're losing viewers. Ha, 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 ha. As if it's some fucking thing to celebrate. Fucking wretched geeks. But they remain steady, man. And they will be back over 1 million. I'm not worried about that. The winds of change are being felt. If you want to sit there and feel it blow beautifully on your fucking skin, then by all means, I'll grab a cold beverage and fucking pull up a seat and join you. If you're not with it, get the fuck out, man. I'll throw you back out into the scorching fucking heat. Ridiculous. AEW was awesome. Punk on Wednesday, can't wait. Rampage, 740,000 viewers for the debut episode. That's awesome. 0.31 in the rating, 18 to 49 demographic. 10 p.m. time slot. And the episode featured Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the Impact Championship. Kenny Omega was beaten for the first time in over 700 days. Christian took the Impact Championship back to the Impact Zone. Miro versus Fuego del Sol for the TNT Championship. Fuego was offered a contract after the end of the match was over, and that was awesome. Dr. Britt Baker versus Red Velvet for the AEW Women's Championship. And we saw the debut, or the reemergence, I should say, of Jamie Hayter, who is now in team or camp DMD. This was the first episode of the show. It had Taz, Excalibur, Chris Jericho, and Mark Henry on commentary. And last night, the second episode of Rampage saw CM Punk come back, open the show. 20 minutes of Punk to open the show, and it was awesome. Absolutely a monumental, historic moment that will go down as one of the greatest wrestling moments of all time. 740,000 views for Rampage is excellent. I don't realize how stupid people are until they actually speak, man. You're better if you don't say anything at all. I had people telling me that this was not a good rating. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, normally the general populace is trying to live out the remainder of their summer days. Some states have restrictions. Some states, they have restaurants that are going to require vaccine proof and an ID to sit down and be a paying patron to those establishments. You got to get that shit in now. Some of you are on a beach somewhere with a cold beverage. Some of you are at musical festivals and concerts and just enjoying the remainder of the summer, man. You're not home watching wrestling on a Friday night. The only people doing that are geeks like me who have a fucking livelihood to maintain by doing and watching professional wrestling and talking about it. But if you guys don't think this is a good rating for Dynamite at the 10 p.m. or Rampage, I should say, for AEW, I should say, in the 10 p.m. time slot, I don't know what you're thinking. This rating was by far and away greater than NXT this week. So please tell me how AEW Rampage is looked at as a fail. Now, with CM Punk back in the fold on weekly television, I would like to think that last night's show was going to be over 1 million. Or as close to 1 million as possible. But it's not even about that. Look at the analytics of everything that was posted on Twitter. I posted tweets about Punk in the 3,000 like range. 3 million plus it was this morning. It's probably closer to 4 million now. The video of him speaking on Rampage last night. 4 million views on AEW's YouTube page. How many of that was repeated watches? Because it was so amazing. I mean, you want to brag about WWE's social media analytics, but then you don't want to take into account how much CM Punk is actually a draw. AEW Shop and Pro Wrestling Tees were fucking crashed for the majority of the night going into early this morning, early this afternoon. But CM Punk is not a draw. All Out tickets, secondary market went from, I don't know what, couple of $100 to over $1,000 with the announcement of CM Punk versus Darby Allin. So please continue to tell me that 740,000 viewers for Rampage is not a good number. Monday Night Raw drawing a 1.6 rating is not a good number. Stay in your own lane. You got your own fucking problems to worry about. We on this side, we're growing at a rapid pace. We're doing things the right way. We're following our own vision. Meanwhile, WWE's vision is a reactionary vision to everything that AEW does. Suck it. I'm a fan of WWE. I am. But their mentality and the way that they handle things is fucking pathetic. All I want is a good wrestling show, and I haven't seen one iota of a wrestling show or anywhere close to being a good wrestling show since they went back in front of fans and moved out of the Thunderdome. Not one. Money in the Bank was it. That's it. Everything else after that has been insufferable garbage. I can't stand WWE television. It is fucking ridiculous. Nobody should be criticizing Rampage's views or viewership ratings. It is a thumbs up. You know what Tony Khan is doing? He's doing everything possible, and he's doing it beautifully, to secure a multi-million dollar TNT TV rights deal in 2024. And he's well on his way to doing that with CM Punk. That's the end goal here, folks. Sorry for all the people that don't understand business. Sorry for all the people that don't understand how to make money and what is important to businessmen like Tony Khan. These businessmen, they don't know anything but going to the corner store and getting Doritos and sitting in their bedroom in the middle of the night jerking off to fucking porn while playing Call of Duty Warzone. I'm sorry, bro. Next time you want to talk business, please go and talk to somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Tony Khan knows what he's talking about. And he knows what he's doing. I know what I'm talking about. Multi-million dollar deal. Why do you think CM Punk was brought in? The return on investment for Tony Khan with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and then everybody else coming in. I would be shocked if TNT doesn't give AEW a $300 million TV rights deal for the next 5 years in 2024. That's what it's all about. Yeah, but you want to cry that it's 740,000 viewers on Friday night at 10 p.m. in the middle of the summer. Oh, my God, man. I can't believe the IWC is as stupid as they are, man. Jesus fucking Christ. You guys are ridiculous, man. Moving on. Got some AEW news, man. Where's Adam Cole, baby? Gonna end up. This is his last weekend with WWE, as I am predicting this is his last weekend with WWE. Adam Cole was on his Twitch channel earlier in the week, and he addressed his future on the platform Twitch. Feels bad about not being able to stream for very long, but just a couple of hours is well worth it for the former NXT champion. He also made it 100% clear that this is his Twitch channel, and it's not going anywhere. He says this and like, well, but guys, I love y'all so much. I wish I had more time to stream, more than a few hours, but it makes me very happy to even still be able to stream for a little bit. It's why when I say no matter what, there's a 0% chance that this channel is ever going away. I will never give this up. I love it with all my entire heart. I love you guys. That's important. And you guys are important to me because you guys make me feel very important. So again, there's been a lot going on lately. I just want to make sure everyone knows this is going nowhere. This is absolutely going nowhere. End quote. Now, I titled it as such as Adam Cole, did he make a decision for his future? Did he choose AEW over WWE? Now, the way he came off, I don't know if anybody had asked him a question about the Twitch channel, but the way Adam Cole came off in this little clip, it was as almost if he potentially asked because of the edict. Right now, he's in NXT. The edict doesn't affect those in NXT. So everybody that has a Twitch channel is not affected by the third-party ban that Vince McMahon brought down on Twitch, OnlyFans, Patreon, Cameo, and everybody else. Everybody on the main roster had to shut that shit down. Adam Cole's not with the main roster. He's with NXT, so it doesn't affect him. But I want you guys to understand that Randy Orton streamed video games. AJ Styles streamed video games. A lot of other people streamed video games. Cesaro streamed video games, right? These are guys that have seniority in WWE. These are guys that have a lot of tenure with the company. I don't think, let me start off with this. I do think that Adam Cole brought this to the table as a bargaining chip. I do think that Adam Cole brought this up because it was important to him. I do think that they turned him down. No, you absolutely cannot keep your Twitch channel. You're joining us up here. We're going to maximize your earnings, and we're going to pay you whatever you would be making on Twitch. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how many followers or paid subscribers that Adam Cole has on Twitch, but that over a monthly basis, I mean, Paige was making $50,000 to $75,000 a month on Twitch alone. Now, you do that over 12 months, that's a hefty fucking paycheck, man. That's a hefty paycheck for somebody who physically can't wrestle. Adam Cole and everybody else that was in the middle of a pandemic where there were no live shows, no live gate, no merchandise being sold at these live shows. They had to find something to not only buy their time by being home, not being able to go anywhere with restrictions in place. They had to find another outlet to make money that they weren't making on the road. Twitch was a great alternative. Then WWE finally seen how much money everybody was making because, according to them, well, they're WWE superstars and they're making money based off of our IPs, off of our intellectual properties. You can't go on Twitch and then have us just sit idle, not collecting a nice hefty pay cut or a nice hefty cut from what you got going on there. We want in on that. So clearly WWE had no other alternatives to take a cut from all of these streamers and WWE superstars that were streaming on Twitch. So instead of taking a cut, which would have been, it would have been the most moral thing to do and the most ideal thing to do, let them keep their Twitch channel as long as they have a WWE branded logo in the corner or they talk about WWE. You had AJ Styles streaming on Twitch talking about Paul Heyman and how he blamed Paul Heyman for firing the Good Brothers, getting them gone from WWE, and how Paul Heyman was a fucking weasel, and how he hated working with Paul Heyman, how he didn't want to be on the same brand as Paul Heyman. You can't have guys contractually obligated to WWE going on Twitch and breaking that fourth wall. Once that was found out, forget about it. Vince was like John Taffer, shut this shit down! It's like John Taffer walking into a fucking bar. Got roaches crawling everywhere. Shut it down! Vince wasn't standing around for that anymore. You think Adam fucking Cole is going to be given preferential treatment to keep his Twitch channel so that he may stay with WWE? You think Vince McMahon is going to bend a knee to Adam Cole to keep his Twitch channel? Are you fucking serious? Now, he very well may have. I don't know. But if AJ Styles can't have a Twitch channel, I don't see Adam Cole having a Twitch channel. That's just logic. Maybe Adam Cole wants to stay in NXT so that he may continue to stream. But staying in NXT is going to stifle your momentum. It's going to stifle your career. Nobody wants to stay in NXT, especially with the new mentality of no midgets. Adam Cole falls right in line with all of those criteria. Midget, check. This is WWE per se. Now, I don't think Adam Cole's a vanilla midget at all. That's the geeks online. Adam Cole's one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. If I was to start a pro wrestling company, Adam Cole's my number one. But that's what WWE thinks of Adam Cole. Vanilla midget, check. Under 180 pounds, check. 5'8", check. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. How am I supposed to look at this guy in the ring against Drew McIntyre? How am I going to look against this? How am I going to look at this guy in the ring against a Bobby Lashley or a Jinder Mahal? That's the mentality Vince McMahon's thinking about. If AJ can't stream, if Randy Orton can't stream, if Cesaro can't stream, you think Adam Cole's going to be able to stream on the main roster? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Meanwhile, you could go to Tony Khan, make just as much money, wrestle, Twitch, and make even more money, and nobody will bother you, bro. Plus, you got your girlfriend there. Plus, you got your best friends there. The winds of change are being felt. Why wouldn't you give yourself the opportunity to join what is right now the fastest growing wrestling promotion in the world with every ounce of momentum behind it? You're working for a company right now up until Sunday that has zero momentum going into the biggest show of the year. Do the math. Do the math. Get out. I hope to God that this man did not sign a contract. Right now, he's under a handshake deal, so theoretically, he could talk to Tony Khan. He could listen to offers. He's under a handshake deal. He signed nothing. Up until Sunday, he will put Kyle O'Reilly over at TakeOver 36. But if this man stays with WWE, Listen, man, I'll support Adam Cole in anything that he does. If they don't see him as being the next Shawn Michaels, Triple H and his vision, nobody gives a fuck about Triple H. Shawn Michaels has mentored this guy for 4 years. Shawn Michaels looks at Adam Cole and sees a mirror image of himself. Why wouldn't you take the God-honest word of Shawn fucking Michaels, probably the greatest of all time? Why would you not take his word on Adam Cole? If Adam Cole stays in WWE, I fear for what may happen to him. Guy will be in catering. Guy will be in the mid-card. Guy will be no better than Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That man deserves to be in world championship programs right at the jump. I don't get why you take Adam Cole and don't use him as a face of your company. But I really don't understand how Triple H and Shawn Michaels can sit idly by and say nothing when they've mentored Adam Cole to be a fucking mirror image of them. And then all of it was done for what? So that TK and AEW can reap the benefits? Triple H is not sleeping at night, I guarantee you. If Adam Cole stays in WWE, I will be one disappointed fan. I really would be. I really would be. And he gets everything that he has coming to him. And he knows that. I don't see Adam Cole as a money-grubbing individual. I see Adam Cole that takes great pride in his work. I see Adam Cole as somebody who wants to lay the canvas of the art of professional wrestling and go and create. I really do. Adam Cole is very prideful of the work that he has done, man. He's not a money. He don't look like a money guy. He knows he could make money and have so many more benefits over in AEW. Why stay here? Knowing that people like you will never be the guy. Punk and Bryan opened up opportunity for guys like Adam Cole. You know what? Their mentality changed. WWE's mentality is now 6'5", 250-pound football players, track and field, bodybuilders, Olympic wrestlers. That's who they want. They don't want professional wrestlers like Adam Cole. Professional wrestling, as stated by CM Punk, is back on August 20th, 2021 with him signing with AEW. So you know where to go. Get out. Get out. New Japan Pro Wrestling has scrapped a big match involving Jon Moxley at All Out, supposedly. A few weeks ago on AEW Dynamite, Jon Moxley called out Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is the new IWGP United States champion after he beat Lance Archer at Resurgence last weekend. The speculation being that it would lead to a match between both of them at All Out. It was previously reported that Jon Moxley had requested this match with him and Tanahashi at All Out, which Tony Khan approved. It has yet to be confirmed whether it was Tanahashi who Moxley wanted to wrestle, but all signs pointed to Tanahashi. Dale Meltzer reported in the latest Observer newsletter that the match will no longer be taking place anytime soon, as things have changed on the New Japan side. Meltzer says this, and I quote, "Most likely the idea would be for a Moxley win right now. New Japan didn't want Tanahashi to lose based on whatever it is they have planned for the United States title." End quote. If not Tanahashi, then who will it be at All Out? Do they have somebody else in mind that's not a United States world or any kind of champion over in New Japan? Are they going to send somebody else over to wrestle Jon Moxley? Will it have as much impact as a Tanahashi would against Jon Moxley in Chicago? I don't know. Clearly, Moxley has nobody to wrestle on the AEW roster, as I think right now he's in the middle of pretty much nothing. But that may change. But I'm going to go and say Meltzer probably knows what's happening. And since the report that Tanahashi was out there against Jon Moxley potentially at All Out, I'm going to say that Meltzer probably published a retraction of sorts. And he doesn't want people to think that it's actually happening. He actually wants to dead the rumor because maybe it was Meltzer giving it away before Tony Khan, Jon Moxley, AEW, and New Japan could officially announce that this is happening. Maybe he wanted to retract it so it doesn't take away from the surprise of when we hear it on AEW Dynamite. That could be a thing as well. That could be a possibility as well. So we will see what happens with Jon Moxley. He's going to be at All Out regardless. Who that is against, I don't know. I'm predicting that Meltzer retracted this and published this statement because he didn't want to ruin the surprise, and we end up getting Tanahashi anyway. I don't think people care who wins the match. I just think they want to see the match. Like, Jon Moxley is bulletproof. He could lose to a Tanahashi. It's not going to affect him in any way. We're not going to look any differently or any less at Jon Moxley. So I'm going to go with that. So we'll see what happens. He will be at All Out. You're not having All Out without Jon Moxley on the card. Buddy Murphy reveals his new not his WWE name. He sheds his old WWE name, but he's got a new ring name, potentially for AEW. Murphy will become a free agent when his 90-day non-compete clause is up on Tuesday, August 31. He could show up on Dynamite Wednesday, September 1. Murphy's been releasing short videos via social media to hype his post-WWE career. The latest videos were uploaded, I believe it was last week and then again this week, of him being freed. At the end of the second clip, if you guys watched, the name Buddy Murphy is shown before it ends with the name Buddy Matthews. That is his new ring name, Buddy Matthews. It's a combination of keeping Buddy as his first name, but also using Matthews as his last name, considering his real name is Matthew Adams. So there you go. Looks like Buddy Murphy may be ending up in AEW because all of the vignettes, took place at the same insane asylum that Aleister Black or Malachi Black filmed his shit at. Josiah Williams, who was the doctor in one of those vignettes for Malachi Black, was the same doctor in this vignette for Buddy Matthews, and it was shot in the same exact way. So clearly, whoever AEW has filming these vignettes, they're all using the same guy, and more than likely he's going to AEW. He may actually be paired with Malachi Black in some way. We'll see what happens. I'm excited, man. The guy's got breakout potential. Put him in the ring and let him go. You will not be disappointed with what this man does. I'm excited. Another major name is headed to AEW. It was reported in the Observer newsletter that AEW made another major acquisition, not named CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan now going by Bryan Danielson, obviously. We got to get used to that when he makes his appearance. It was not said who this person is, but it's possible that this is a reference to Ric Flair. Bray Wyatt is likely under a non-compete, so he won't be able to sign with AEW right now. And rumors of Brock Lesnar have circulated once again, but Brock ain't going anywhere but WWE. And Vince would have a fucking heart attack if he went to AEW. Adam Cole is also a possibility since he is currently under a handshake deal and could legally speak to AEW right now if he wanted to. Cole agreed to stay on for another match after his WWE deal expired last month. Flair would make the most sense since he does not have a non-compete. Meltzer noted that Flair secretly agreed to manage Andrade El Idolo at Triple Mania. He made that trip alongside Charlotte Flair, who was there, who asked for time off a while back so she could skip the live event that was taking place at the same time as Triple Mania. But WWE continued to advertise her to chants of Charlotte Flair, knowing that they were not going to produce Charlotte Flair. Sucks to be those fans in Charlotte, North Carolina, that had Ric Flair, or Charlotte Flair rather, advertised, and she did not show up. We got Nikki Ash against Rhea Ripley. Great. Meltzer noted that although people have hinted to him that Flair doesn't have a non-compete, it has not been confirmed to Dave Meltzer. For what it's worth, Flair is scheduled to appear at NWA's 73rd anniversary show, so that is another sign that he is free to sign with any promotion. One name not mentioned here, and I pray to fucking Jesus Christ himself that it's not. One name not named in this report is Adam Scherr, a.k.a. Braun Strowman. We don't need Braun Strowman being elite. We don't need Braun Strowman on Wednesday nights. We don't need any type of negativity coming down upon AEW. We don't need any type of sayings from the general community. Oh, WWE's has-beens ending up in AEW. AEW signing nothing but WWE rejects. We don't need any of that. Braun Strowman is the absolute fucking epitome of WWE reject. I don't know where Braun Strowman would end up. He was on social media last night teasing that he was in Chicago. Where's the best place I could get deep dish pizza, says Braun Strowman on social media. You ain't in Chicago, motherfucker. And if you are, stay away from the United Center and the Now Center, please. Nobody wants to see you. Don't you got trains to build? Don't you got trains to conduct? Don't you got a ticket to stamp somewhere on the Strowman Express? Give me a break. Get this guy out of here, man. Go to Impact. Go to Japan. Go back to WWE. Go make their television equally as fucking terrible as it was when you were there. Give me a break. I don't know what this guy's going to be doing, but I hope it's not with AEW. So he was not mentioned in that report, but I could see Adam Cole ending up at AEW. Ruby Soho's likely there. She cut a vignette promo as well, which was great. Buddy Murphy could end up there. Bray Wyatt. I mean, we got a lot going on, folks. We got a lot going on with AEW. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, Jim Ross says Bray Wyatt's release proved WWE management is terrible. He said this on his Grilling JR podcast. Talked about Bray Wyatt's release from WWE. Ross states that Wyatt's release simply showed that WWE has bad management. There's politics nowadays because of immense salaries. Bray Wyatt gets cut. He's got to be making north of $1 million on a downside guarantee, and he's been sitting at home. That's not good management. I'm not saying the guy should have been cut. He should have been used if you're going to pay him that kind of money. How that happened is a story for another day because I don't know the details. I do know they got rid of a very talented kid, and I'm sure he won't have any issues finding work. Speaking of Bray Wyatt. End quote. Wyndham Rotunda will be all elite. And there was a rumor going around that Wyndham was in the United Center. It was not Wyndham Rotunda. It was not. The guy looked like a fucking fat slob with a very similar haircut to Wyndham Rotunda. By chance, if it ends up being Wyndham Rotunda, I will personally apologize for calling him a fat slob. But Wyndham Rotunda doesn't look that out of shape, in my honest opinion. So for all the people saying, well, JD, Wyndham was in attendance. No, he wasn't. Wyndham was not in fucking attendance at All Out. Give me a break. Or at the United Center. And he won't be able to sign with AEW until late October. NXT. I know everybody's excited to hear about the NXT shit, right? How many of you are excited about NXT TakeOver 36? Raise your hand, legitimately. Give me a hand emoji. Probably none of you. I'm excited for Walter versus Ilya Dragunov, though. I will say that. That match should fucking absolutely kill it. NXT ratings for 8/17, 654,000 live viewers. But Rampage's viewership was bad. Blew away NXT numbers, man. This is according to Showbuzz Daily. Show did a 0.15 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. The show did a 0.19 rating a week ago. It ranked number 31 in the top 150 shows on cable for the night. Here's a breakdown in each demo. 18 to 49, 0.15. Female viewers, 18 to 49, 0.17. Male viewers, 18 to 49, 0.23. And the 50-plus demo, which is really giving them the most bang for their buck, 0.36. There you go. This episode featured the NXT Tag Team Champions, who have been really two guys that have fizzled out so far, man. MSK, they defended against Imperium. They retained the Tag Team Championships. Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross had a face-off. I thought that was excellent. I'm actually looking forward to that, too. I thought their pull-apart brawl at the end of NXT was really well done. Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. Timothy Thatcher versus Rich Holland. And an interview with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai for their women's championship match. And Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell versus Robert Stone and Jesse Kamea. That happened on the show. I was actually very surprised that Duke Hudson did not win the breakout tournament. The one thing I took away from this show, man, Duke Hudson, in my eyes, should have beaten Carmelo Hayes. Now we got Carmelo Hayes versus Odyssey Jones in the finals of the breakout tournament. Even the breakout tournament doesn't feel as special as it did 2 years ago when they did it. I would have went with Duke Hudson, man. Carmelo Hayes doesn't need a breakout tournament win. He's already a breakout guy. He's got it written all over him. So why not give it to a Duke Hudson for a major spotlight? Why not give it to an Odyssey Jones in a major spotlight in the finals? I don't get that logic. There's no way I'm going to sit here and believe Carmelo Hayes is going to beat somebody the size of Odyssey Jones. And just by the current mentality in NXT, I think Odyssey Jones is well on his way to being the breakout guy in NXT. There's no reason to believe Carmelo Hayes is going to take that guy down. None. Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis, by the way, they are engaged. And we are getting a wedding on NXT, man. Never in my lifetime did I think under the old school NXT would I have looked at this brand and seen a wedding happening on Tuesday night. But this is a different NXT. This is not the same NXT. And I got to be honest with you, man. I was frowning upon this Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell thing. You know, if you heard Dexter Lumis cut a promo in Impact Wrestling, you don't want to hear him speak. I don't think the voice matches the look. But for some reason, it's growing on me, man. I love his facial expressions. I love his demeanor. I love their chemistry on screen. I think it's great. I'm just not really up to seeing a fucking wedding on a show that really doesn't embody that type of cheesy, carny bullshit. Save the wrestling weddings for WWE main roster. Never in my lifetime did I think I would see a wedding on fucking NXT, man. But here we are. Here we are. Unbelievable. TakeOver is this Sunday. I will be live after TakeOver 36 to go over the entire show Sunday night. NXT's partnership with Full Sail University is over. It's dead, just like NXT. This is a symbolic killing of NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Since last summer, WWE has been holding NXT TV events from Orlando, Florida at the Capitol Wrestling Center, the former Performance Center. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there's a lot of changes going on behind the scenes in NXT as they will be taping TV episodes this coming Monday and Tuesday that will last them a month. That is being done to upgrade the Capitol Wrestling Center, which is the Performance Center. Dave Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Observer newsletter that WWE's relationship with Full Sail is over and the Performance Center is the new long-term home of the show. On Tuesday's NXT, Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross crashed through some barricades. This was the storyline reason for upgrading the Performance Center. The plexiglass may be gone as WWE sent out a survey asking fans if they like it or not. I fucking hate it. It's one of the one things I complained about for months. Especially the fucking gate. The gate and the plexiglass. It served its purpose. Get rid of it. It was stated that the belief regarding television, the show looks too dark. So the idea is to make the studio brighter with more lights and more colorful looking. As noted, WWE plans to recruit and push younger and taller wrestlers instead of using older and smaller workers, a.k.a. no midgets, according to WWE higher-ups. Full Sail was and will forever be the home of NXT, man. This Capitol Wrestling Center and what we have seen of it, it doesn't even fucking compare, man. It pales so badly in comparison to Full Sail University. I am so grateful that I got the opportunity to sit at Full Sail in the one taping that I went to. And you guys know that it was a couple of years ago. Before all the pandemic started, I went to Orlando. I met Morrow. I hung out with a couple of OTS goons. I was there with my boy Kedrick. And it was great. It was great. I had a great time during that show. It was when Velveteen Dream beat Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. I thought it was awesome. And I miss Full Sail, man. The Capitol Wrestling Center is way, and I like my wrestling dark. I like it gritty. But you got to go about it a certain way, man. AEW's got it right. AEW's got it perfect. Full Sail University was so great in what it did for NXT. The Capitol Wrestling Center, man, the darkness, the dullness of the show, the plexiglass, the gates, everything about it, even the amount of fans that they've allowed in. It's as if they have no energy. Not to compare them to Full Sail, because I would assume it's the same crowd, but Full Sail emitted so much energy. And I haven't even seen a tenth of that from the Capitol Wrestling Center. Now, they may have their reasons for wanting their own place. They turned the Performance Center into a pretty much NXT arena. and they built another performance center for people to go and train. Great. Great. It makes everybody centralized to one place instead of going back to Winter Park, Florida, which is not really Orlando. It's, now in the center of Orlando. But I hope that they change it for the better, man. I really do. I really do. And it's just symbolic to me that Full Sail is no longer partnered with WWE. And with all the news about NXT being killed and dead, hearing this news just pretty much put the other foot in the grave if you're NXT. I'm going to miss it. And I'm going to miss seeing it on TV, man. I have not felt that same emotional connection to the Capitol Wrestling Center. I hope that they could really do it justice and bring it back to making me feel like I did watching Full Sail University. I really do. So WWE's making big changes to the Capitol Wrestling Center, and that is going to happen. I don't know, again, what it means outside of the plexiglass and the lighting and the gating, but changes will happen, and we will see that on Wednesday's NXT, this coming Wednesday. So look forward to that. The TV taping schedule. It's being taped on Monday and Tuesday. PW Insider provided some details on these tapings. Monday, the August 23rd taping. They will film the Tuesday, August 24th episode. The following night, WWE will tape 2 episodes that will air on August 31st and September 7th. There's no word yet on the dates of the next set of tapings. This started Tuesday with a new logo, with changes to the lighting and format of the show, and will be introduced on Tuesday. That is going to be showcased to everybody on Wednesday on USA. WWE will hold NXT TakeOver 36 Sunday night, which will be headlined by Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe. Now, the TV taping schedule, a lot of people were claiming that they're cutting back on budget, and this is one of the reasons that they're cutting back, or one of the primary focuses to cut back on budget as well, to make NXT taped as it was all those years while it was on the WWE Network at 1 hour. Now, USA Network is not happy about this because they're actually paying for a live television show. And Andrew Zarian reported that USA officials are very upset. This is not confirmation, I say, that NXT is going to be taped. I was just told that I heard they are not very happy. And they are paying for live television. They were not happy about it being a tape show. This is not what we paid for, was the exact quote that Andrew Zarian used in regards to NXT. Now, I don't blame them, but this is what you get for throwing the brand into the fire, thinking you were going to compete against AEW, and you just basically killed the entire fucking brand and what made it unique and special. Because you didn't want to use your brand, you didn't want to use your resources to kill AEW when you should have done that, but you killed NXT and opted to kill NXT because you have Triple H to blame for when things go wrong, and that's exactly what they did. Vince was never going to take blame and use Monday Night Raw or SmackDown to combat AEW, but AEW is not competition. But you say otherwise when you get angry at Triple H for not beating AEW. Why are you getting angry at Triple H, and why are you killing NXT for failing to beat AEW if AEW is not competition? I don't get it. So USA Network is not happy. I don't really give a shit at all if it's taped or not. I don't. And neither should you. We watch NXT in its glory days be a taped show at 1 hour. They filmed 4 episodes in the span of a couple of days. So they gave you a month's worth of content, and they filmed 4 one-hour shows in just a couple of days. Some days it was just 1 day. 1 day of tapings. So you sat there for 4 hours watching NXT. And they had enough content to fill you up for the month. Now, it looks like that's what they're going back to. But you don't understand. The 2-hour shows that we see, I don't really like it at 2 hours. I think a 1-hour show for NXT is where it is as far as the sweet spot is concerned. I don't think 2 hours is doing the show any justice at all. I wish it would go back to 1 hour. But I don't mind the tape schedule at all. This gives, hopefully, I don't know who they have writing on the NXT team. This gives the NXT writing team now opportunity to get whatever they got to get out on Monday and Tuesday. And then the next set of tapings, so they'll have a month's worth of content. They'll be 3 weeks ahead, theoretically. This gives them the opportunity to really sit down and think out plans and storylines long-term without actually having to book week-to-week television. This is a great deal. So I'm looking forward to seeing how things hopefully maybe resemble some of what we loved about the old NXT as far as the writing is concerned. Now, I may be giving them too much benefit of the doubt, but that's what made NXT great. It gave them all the time in the world to come up with long, drawn-out, long-term storytelling that made sense. And if something didn't work, they had the opportunity to go back and change it. They had the opportunity to mull over ideas instead of booking a show within just a couple of days, week to week, rushing out angles, doing things that didn't make sense, throwing shit on TV for the sake of throwing shit on TV. Let's fill this 2-hour block. Who gives a shit? Like their fucking core, the thing that brought them to be the best wrestling company on the planet, was thrown away and disregarded. NXT was about building character. NXT was about long-term storytelling, and they moved away from that. Hopefully they bring that back with this new taping schedule. Again, I may be giving them the benefit of the doubt, but we will see. Ember Moon. She was supposed to wrestle Dakota Kai, I believe. No, it was Saray. I'm sorry. Ember Moon was pulled from her match against Saray on NXT last week. Fans started to worry. Ember Moon went missing during a time when absence is never a good sign. Everybody thought she was about to get released. She then made it very clear that she had medical problems. It turned out that she is recovering from a different type of procedure. According to Fightful Select, Ember Moon was pulled from her match against Saray last week on NXT because of dental surgery. That is what kept her from being cleared. Despite her dental situation, Moon still wanted to wrestle. WWE sources have indicated that Moon was still recovering from a dental procedure that kept her from getting cleared. NXT sources also indicate that she was willing to work despite all of that. Moon is not injured. And she was able, or she wanted to wrestle. She thought she was able to wrestle, but she was unable to wrestle due to WWE's protocol. It was not noted what type of dental surgery she had, but it was obviously enough to keep her out of action because a healing period was needed. So don't worry, folks. Ember Moon was not cut for budget reasons. Don't worry about it. She'll be back in a couple of weeks. Monday Night Raw ratings for 8/16. The show averaged 1.857 million viewers on the USA Network, which was up from the 1.790. Well, let's throw a fucking parade. Still under a 2, though, Bruce. Still under a 2, though, bro. 18 to 49 demo, so the average in the 18 to 49 demo become a 0.55. That was up from the 0.49 rating the show did last week. Hour 1 through hour 3, 1.9, 1.86, 1.79. That's hour 1, hour 2, and hour 3. This was the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw for SummerSlam. Episode was absolutely insufferable. Damian Priest versus The Miz after we seen the debut episode of Moist TV. Moist TV. Unbelievable. Now we got Moist TV happening on Monday, folks. How do they combat CM Punk? They're bringing back Moist TV on Monday with Jake Paul as their special guest. Get the bleach ready, folks, and get the ice ready. Pour me a triple. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax versus Nikki Trash and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Trash happened on that show as well. And Nikki Trash, the Raw Women's Champion, lost twice in the same night. Par for the course in WWE. Karrion Kross beat Jeff Hardy in 60 seconds. Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky in a handicap match as he threatened them and Jinder with his sword once again. Wow, man, what a fucking match. I can't wait. Randy Orton versus Omos. And Bobby Lashley and Goldberg had a face-to-face segment to close the show. Great. How the show did a 1-8, I never know. I'll never understand. What a fucking insufferable show, man. Asuka. Where the fuck is she? Why has she disappeared from TV? Asuka's name has been brought up a lot lately. The last we've seen of Asuka was, I believe, she dropped the belt to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 37 Night 2. She then feuded with the likes of Ripley and Charlotte for the first couple of weeks. coming out of WrestleMania, going into Backlash, and then she disappeared. The one woman that held this women's division on her back in the middle of empty gymnasium shows during the pandemic. WWE has not featured on television in months. The WWE star was last seen in action when she worked this year's Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, won by Nikki Trash, who later cashed in to win the Raw Women's title. Asuka then disappeared from television, with fans asking questions as to why. Dave Meltzer reported in the latest Observer newsletter that Asuka is fine and she's just not being used for anything right now. It's unclear when she will be used next by the company. I want to think that WWE has given Asuka a very much deserved time off. But I don't see how you have one of the biggest stars in the women's division not on SummerSlam's card. I don't understand that. I really don't get it. I want to think that she got a really deserved time off after breaking her fucking back for this company all through the pandemic. She held this division on her back. Her reign was awful. Her women's title reign was disgusting. But she held that company on her back in the middle of that pandemic. She showed up to work every week with a smile on her face and did what WWE asked with no problem. I want to think that's the case. Because when people sit idle, and I'm just thinking out loud here, when people sit idle in WWE and you are 40 years old like Asuka, and you're making, I don't know how much money Asuka's making in WWE, but when you're 40 years old, and the criteria that has been brought upon WWE now is they don't want any old professional wrestlers. They want youth. They don't want anybody over 32. But Asuka's sitting at home. Nick Khan's going to look at his payroll sheet, ask where she's been, why we haven't used her, look at her age, and the next thing you know, Asuka will be let go for budget cut reasons. That's what I fear. And what will that mean to WWE? What will that mean to the fans? Asuka was let down again. Asuka was disregarded again. How you have somebody as talented as Asuka sitting at home doing nothing? Like I said, I want to think she got some well-deserved time off, but knowing these people, it's probably, creative's got nothing for you. And she's ready to come back now. Miz and Morrison, plans for them on Monday Night Raw. During the Raw recap on Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer pointed out how Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were seen in the background while Miz and Morrison were talking and reconciling. Alvarez suggested that perhaps they are setting up a match down the road. Meltzer confirmed that Miz and Morrison will be feuding with the New Day soon. Meltzer says this: that is the program that they're going to do. They were running around in the back. Miz and Morrison were doing the promo. Kofi and Xavier are behind them. And it's supposed to be like, oh, they got caught on camera and they were caught hanging around. They had a thing up that said, buy our shirts, or something along those lines. It's like the beginning of something. Yeah. End quote. Great. More useless garbage that will generate no interest on Monday Night Raw. I can't wait. I can't wait. Keith Lee. Backstage news on why Keith Lee is working dark matches before Raw and SmackDown. There's some good news to report if you're a fan of Keith Lee. Since his match on 8-2, where he defeated Karrion Kross, did nothing for either Lee or Kross, but Keith Lee got the win. Keith Lee's been moved to dark matches before Raw and SmackDown. Lee defeated Austin Theory on August 6th, Chico Adams on August 9th, Niles Plunk on August 13th, and last night he defeated Casey Blackrose before Raw, or Monday before Raw. PW Insider reports that the short squash matches were booked because WWE management wants to, quote-unquote, refine Lee and decide what works best for him going forward. Lee had been out of action for several months after dealing with heart issues following a COVID-19 positive test in January. Lee talked about how his heart issues prevented him from hard training, but the health issues are now behind him. The dark match squashers indicate that there are plans to do more with him when he returns to television. I don't believe them for a single solitary fucking second, man. I don't believe them at all. I don't believe them. I'll believe them when Keith Lee is in a title program on Monday or Friday night. They don't have any plans for Keith Lee. That's why they're keeping him at bay. Squash matches on Raw and SmackDown before the shows actually go live on the air on USA and Fox. They don't got any plans for Keith Lee. Their plans for Keith Lee, they had an ample opportunity to bring this man back to television after he released the fucking video. All you had to do was show the goddamn video that he put up on Monday Night Raw and have the general public listen to this man explain why he was out. I was battling for my life after complications from COVID-19. That would resonate with anybody. That would bring him to be limitless. You have your next over babyface right there. But they didn't do that. Why didn't they do that? Because it doesn't fit into their narrative. Why didn't they do that? Because Keith Lee would have gotten over by himself. It would have been nothing WWE did to help aid get Keith Lee over. Oh, we're not going to allow COVID to get you over. We're not going to allow you to, escape death to get you over. The Grim Reaper's not going to get you over, pal. Vince is going to get you over, pal. Give me a break. They dropped the ball once with Keith Lee. They dropped the ball twice with Keith Lee. Now they dropped the ball a third time with Keith Lee. How many more times does the ball have to drop before Keith Lee realizes that this company is not going to do much with him? Get him the fuck out of there. Unbelievable how people still think Keith Lee is going to be pushed on Smack. I could be wrong. But until I see this man in a main event program flourishing on Monday or Friday night, I'm going to sit here and tell you that there are no internal plans to push Keith Lee at all in WWE. He's already dead. He was on TV, then he got sick. They brought him back to TV. He got squashed by Bobby Lashley. Not really the impression you want to make. Beating Karrion Kross is not going to make an impression. Nobody remembers it. Nobody cares. Kross himself is dead. He was killed on night one as NXT champion. That happened so many weeks ago. And he hasn't been on Monday Night Raw to follow up beating the NXT champion on Monday Night Raw. Nobody cares. What are they refining? What was there that needed to be refined coming out of NXT? They're refining Keith Lee because he's got indie written all over him. They're refining Keith Lee because they weren't pleased with the amount of training Triple H and his team gave Keith Lee. So now they got to go and do it themselves. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they look at Keith Lee as one of the bright spots to come out of NXT and they want to genuinely push him. Maybe. But until I see this guy on Monday Night Raw in top-tier programs, I will continue to think otherwise. Guys, I appreciate you joining me here, man. We're going to get into some SummerSlam talk in just a second. And before I do that, I want to shout out one of my great sponsors of the show, man. Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com is sponsoring the show today, man. You guys can get their new Lawnmower 4.0 using code SCRIPT20 to save 20% off every single purchase on Manscaped.com. I know you guys are ready for an out-of-body, out-of-world experience, man. I want you to look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has taken off not only in the USA, but Canada and the UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver, and the Performance Boxer briefs, and a nice little travel bag to hold your entire solar system, man. The Lawnmower 4.0, let me tell you, man, this spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, your balls, your ass, and even Uranus. This fourth-generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. With a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch that you can engage a travel lock for. It's even waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for more precise shaving throughout your travels across the universe. The Weed Whacker, it's also like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds up your nose and in your ear. The Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver, they help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat this summer, man. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxer Briefs and the Shed Travel Bag. Awesome, man. You're getting the most bang for your buck with Manscaped. Get 20% off today using code SCRIPT20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code SCRIPT20 at manscaped.com. Your balls need some help. And for a clean Trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you, man. I want to thank Manscaped for once again sponsoring the podcast right here on Off the Script. Guys, I am going to take a short break. I don't want you to go anywhere, man. I got to get another cold beverage. I got to clear my allergies up. I'm going to put on some tunes. I'll be back in less than 4 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We are going to kick this off right. SummerSlam predictions are coming up in just a second right here on Off the Script. All right, guys, we are back on Off the Script, episode 387. SummerSlam Saturday. We're going to get into the predictions right now. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Trash. It's Nikki Ash storyline. His character is awful. I can't stand it. I think a lot of people agree with me on it. I don't know how well it's getting over from what I hear on a week-to-week basis. It's not getting over at all. WWE has piped in crowd noise because of the overwhelming displeasure from most fans in attendance when they see Nikki Ash. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I don't. It may be it may be her idea from what the reports say. It may be somebody else's idea. I don't think that this was the only idea that she came up with. I don't think that this was the only idea that she brought to Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. I honestly think, because that's not what I would do, I honestly think that WWE had a multitude of ideas brought to them by Nikki Cross, and this is the one that they decided on because this is the most embarrassing for her. They don't give a fuck about Nikki Cross. They don't. All they see is, well, maybe the fucking simps and the geeks and the families, maybe they'll buy butterfly t-shirts, or maybe they'll fucking buy Nikki cartoon character t-shirts with inspirational quotes on them. They look at Nikki Cross as a short-term way to make some extra money, and that is it. The gimmick sucks. I mean, you're looking at AEW, and then you look at Nikki Cross, and please tell me why there's such a glaring difference in professional wrestling. You know, when I watch professional wrestling, I want to see adult. I want to see mature. I want to see seriousness. I never said that there can't be a dose of comedy or a dose of cheesiness. But this is well beyond that. It is well beyond anything that I think we ever imagined. This shit sucks. It doesn't cater to you and I. That's the fucking problem. So we got to suffer through this shit because Vince sees dollar signs right now in Nikki Ash. Give me a break. This woman brought other ideas to the table, and this is the one that they decided on because it's the most fucking nauseating. Rhea Ripley has been absolutely a disappointment in every sense of the word since coming up to the main roster. I don't even know who she is anymore. I have never seen somebody fall from grace so badly as quick as Rhea Ripley. I don't get it. I really don't get it. She was so great in NXT, and her feud with Charlotte Flair absolutely killed everything about her. Charlotte Flair, don't get me started, man. I'm not a fan of Charlotte Flair, but you can tell when someone is just going through the motions, man. You can tell when someone is going through the motions. Charlotte Flair has been going through the motions for a very, very long time. WWE has done nobody in this feud any justice. Nikki Ash has lost to Rhea Ripley. Nikki Ash has lost to Charlotte Flair. Nikki Ash has been a loser throughout the build of this match going into the pay-per-view. The only match that she won, she had nothing to do with winning the match. She won the match based on a technicality that Charlotte Flair ran herself into a fucking table. And then she loses twice on Monday Night Raw as Raw Women's Champion. Yet you want me to sit here and believe Nikki Ash is almost a superhero. Oh yeah, she's almost a fucking superhero, man. She's almost a fucking winner too because she's nothing but a fucking loser. I don't know how anybody would be interested in this fucking match tonight. I really don't. I don't see Nikki Ash retaining the championship. I mean, they've ruined her already. I don't. Do you want to see this shit continue on Monday Night Raw as Raw Women's Champion? I don't. Rhea Ripley winning the Raw Women's Championship again. She did nothing with it the first time. Why give it back to her? Just feels like it's setting up another tainted title win for WWE to put on Charlotte's record. I feel like Charlotte's going to win the championship, and then out comes Becky Lynch. Because that's the natural feud for both. Becky and Charlotte have a ready-made feud. There's history there. Becky comes back as the championship that she never lost. And boom. Becky Lynch can now take Charlotte's spot as the number one female in WWE. And the division, like I said, would be better off. Not better off, I should say, for her. Because she's not going to make a lick of a difference on Monday Night Raw. Not one. I'm going with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is going to win this match because the other two just don't make any sense whatsoever from a logistical standpoint. Now, Charlotte, she actually was asked about the Queen of the Ring. She had an interview with Talk Sport, and Charlotte made it known that she doesn't think she should be a part of the tournament. Really now? You and me both, honey. You and me both. Instead, she thinks she should face the winner. Being that I'm already the queen, if it was to happen, I believe whoever wins it has to face me, since I'm the queen of queens, right? I don't think I should have to be in this tournament. I already have the title, or I guess this was before she lost the title. They should get to face me if they win. If it won't be that... it won't be queen versus queen. It will be queen versus whoever won the tournament. So let's get that right. The tournament will have talent from Raw and SmackDown. And Flair thinks NXT wrestlers should be involved in the tournament because it allows multiple women to be highlighted. Now, she did speak about Becky Lynch. She says this, and I quote, "Given our history, and it's been 2 years since our feud, everything happened when she turned on me at SummerSlam a couple of years ago." She turned on Charlotte Flair. No, it was WWE thinking that they were going to get Becky Lynch to be a heel and Charlotte the babyface, and it blew up in their face. Then they had Becky Lynch follow up on the Friday SmackDown, or third Tuesday, whatever the fucking SmackDown was back then, show up on SmackDown and cut a heel promo thinking that the fans were still going to forget what happened at SummerSlam. She turned on me at SummerSlam a couple of years ago, so I think it's a natural for the fans to do that. And it doesn't make sense to do it to anyone else. I like it because it allows me to play back with them. And I realize if they aren't reacting at all, that's bad. It gives me a chance to play and have a cheeky line. Meaning the Becky Lynch chance that she's been getting when she's been in the ring. Let's go back to this King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring shit. I don't know when Charlotte held this interview. It sounds like it was as of late. But... it sounds like if she was the champion already, she's already kind of foreshadowing what is to come. Oh, the champion should face me. Or the winner of the tournament should face me, the champion. So Charlotte Flair may be the champion as we go into a Queen of the Ring tournament. And the winner of the tournament, I think it's going to be built around Becky Lynch. The winner of the tournament faces Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. Because that's naturally what a Queen of the Ring tournament, a King of the Ring tournament should be about. Crowning a number one contender for said world championship. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think Charlotte should be in it. If she is the Raw Women's Champion, she should absolutely not be in it. If she's not the Raw Women's Champion, she should absolutely not be in it. I'm going with Charlotte to win the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Bill Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. Goldberg has confirmed that he's got 2 matches left on his WWE contract after SummerSlam. Great. Those 2 matches can't come fast enough. Get him out of here. He says on The Bump, WWE The Bump, "I'd love a piece of Roman Reigns, and I think even more so would I love to get my hands around John Cena's throat. But that's wishful thinking. We'll see. Let's take care of Bobby Lashley first. Hey, I've only got 2 more matches on my deal here, so we'll see what happens." Oh, Bill, that's all? Only 2, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill. Fuck Bill Goldberg. What I say? See, with Bobby Lashley is a complete waste of fucking time. I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. This is not a dream match. They could have done so much better for Bobby Lashley. You know, how many more of you would be interested if fucking Big E won the Money in the Bank briefcase, showed up on Monday Night Raw to confront Bobby Lashley after what he did to his New Day brethren, and that be the WWE Championship match? I will beat you, and I will get revenge for what you did to Xavier and what you did to Kofi. Meanwhile, WWE thinks that we needed Bill Goldberg at SummerSlam. Why exactly did we need Bill Goldberg at SummerSlam when this show was already a near sellout without Bill Goldberg being on television? That's what I want to know. Then you got the fucking geeks and the shills. Oh, it's a money match. No, it's not a money match. People aren't paying to see Bill Goldberg. People are paying to be at SummerSlam. Even if you just announced John Cena versus Roman Reigns, that's all people needed to hear. You didn't need Bobby Lashley versus Bill Goldberg. You could have easily gotten away with Big E versus Bobby Lashley. Now, I said this for weeks. Nobody seems to understand me. WWE is now integrated. What are they calling him in the community? Sunberg? Gage, Goldberg's son, into the feud. For some reason, he's now a centralized part of this feud. I feel like he's going to get involved in some way, shape, or form. Now, I don't know what's happening with the Money in the Bank briefcase. How I would book it is Big E wins back or grabs, retrieves, takes back the Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam. And no more tomfoolery here with Baron Corbin. This all relies on Big E being the Money in the Bank briefcase holder before this match actually takes place. Have Bobby Lashley beat Bill Goldberg. Have Bobby Lashley destroy Bill Goldberg. Leave him laying. Okay, enough where he could sell the effects of Bobby Lashley's offense. He goes out to the front row where Gage is sitting. And he pulls Gage by his shirt. He drags him over the barricade, throws him around about a little bit, throws him in the ring. He's going to spear him right there in front of his father as his father's struggling to get up. Goldberg gets up, spears Bobby Lashley after the match is over, saves his son, delivers a jackhammer to Bobby Lashley right there in front of his son. Out comes Big E. Cashes the contract, pins Bobby Lashley, new WWE champion. 1, 2, 3. We got Bobby Lashley versus Big E now starting on Monday Night Raw. The New Day is back together on Monday night. That's what I would do. I would have booked the match and had Big E cash in like a genuine babyface, but WWE clearly had no intention of doing that. And again, this all revolves around Big E being the Money in the Bank briefcase owner before this match takes place. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Now, if Baron Corbin is still in possession of the briefcase, I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley because there's no reason why Bill Goldberg should be winning a WWE championship. And if you want to erase everything you've built up with Bobby Lashley over the past year and a half, then by all means, have Bill Goldberg beat him in 3 minutes. I don't think you could really get away with that after what happened on Friday night at Rampage. You want to piss people off, then by all means, make Bill Goldberg the WWE champion. I could absolutely see them doing that, and I could see them causing some sort of ruckus to maybe think, I think WWE would be in line of thinking, well, we're going to give Goldberg the championship. Let's see people talk about that on social media as long as people are talking about it on Twitter. Maybe it'll take some away from what CM Punk did on Friday night. I pray that is not the case. I'm going with Bobby Lashley in the end. There's no reason why Bill Goldberg should be WWE champion. There's no reason why he should be in this fucking match at all. Why is he in this match? He comes back, he gets a token title shot for no reason. He lost to Drew McIntyre the last time he wrestled for the WWE Championship. Lost in 4 minutes. Got Claymored in the face. Bobby Lashley beats Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. So how does this work out for Bobby Lashley? If Bobby Lashley beat the guy that beat Goldberg, what is beating Bill Goldberg going to do for Bobby Lashley? I don't get it. I'm going with Bobby Lashley. Eva fucking Marie versus Alexa Bliss. You know, folks, if I could find the tweet, I want to find the tweet. Let me see. If I could find the tweet from a couple of days ago, man, I tweeted it out. I got all this CM Punk shit on my Twitter wall. Let me see. Where can I find it? It pretty much went viral. Because, I mean, why wouldn't it? I speak logic. No doubt about it. Eva Marie is on SummerSlam's card. Eva Marie is on SummerSlam's card. I want you guys to realize that Finn Balor is without a SummerSlam match. Shinsuke Nakamura is without a SummerSlam match. Apollo Crews is without a SummerSlam match. Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy, Kevin Owens, The New Day, Cesaro, Asuka, Tony Storm, Tegan Nox, and Shotzi Blackheart are without SummerSlam matches. But WWE has decided to put on SummerSlam Eva Marie. You don't think there's a change in how things are working backstage in WWE, folks? Look at this match and tell me otherwise. This is the best that WWE could have come up with for SummerSlam? Give me a fucking break. What an awful fucking match to be added to this show. I don't understand it. Now, there is some good news to come out of this. This weekend could be make or break for Alexa Bliss, Lily. Alexa Bliss's doll, Lily, on WWE TV. Matt Men's Andrew Zarian tweeted this little gem. And I quote, "The merch sales this weekend will be the story when it comes to Lily, the winking doll. Merch sales will determine a lot this week, according to my source." That's what Andrew Zarian said. Now, WrestlingNews.co heard from someone high up in WWE who said this, and I quote, "Vince laughs when he sees the doll. Vince loves Lily, the doll. He has heard some of the online criticism from the internet fans that hate it. If parents buy the doll for their kids, then Vince sees the doll as a success." We were told here at WrestlingNews.co that there have been ideas pitched for kids' toys featuring the likeness of Nikki Ash. But Andrew Zarian noted in his tweet that a lot will depend on how merchandise sales do this weekend in Las Vegas and on WWE Shop. WWE released new Nikki Ash shirts on their website this week. For those wondering, we have not heard any talk about the current incarnation of Alexa Bliss's character being scrapped. Folks, if that is true, I'm hoping nobody buys a Lily the fucking doll at SummerSlam. I really hope nobody buys a fucking doll. Seriously. We have a opportunity here to kill this gimmick dead. Alexa Bliss should be ashamed that she hasn't gone to management and say, there's no end game here. What is the end game for Alexa Bliss if Wyndham Rotunda is fucking fired? And he was the backbone of everything that Alexa Bliss is doing right now. I don't get it. The character sucks. The magic sucks. The doll sucks. It makes WWE look like a fucking comedy show. In no way, shape, or form does it resemble anything that I would want to see on a pro wrestling program. If you enjoy this campy shit, then you have some mental fucking problems, man. Please give me the key. I will gladly lock you away. And I won't return. Get it off my television. Now, Eva Marie, I mean, I don't know if the woman could wrestle or not. I'm going to take my chance and say the woman can't wrestle, period. I mean, she has struggled doing a simple collar and elbow tie-up in the middle of the ring. She can't even run the fucking ropes correctly, but she's got big tits. She's got a great ass. She's a supermodel. We got to get her on TV. That's the criteria for Johnny Laurinaitis, Eva Marie, people power. That's their criteria. That's the going criteria to get women in the division and on TV. Eva Marie. Now, I don't think Eva Marie is going to wrestle tonight. I think it's going to be Doudrop. I think Doudrop is going to lose, and I think Doudrop is going to have enough of Eva Marie shit, and we finally get the split from Eva Marie. Then after that, I don't know what WWE does. I don't see WWE going back on Doudrop. I don't see WWE reverting back to Piper Niven. I don't see WWE pushing someone like Piper Niven on television because she doesn't look like Eva Marie. I don't think Eva Marie wrestles. I think Doudrop wrestles, and we get this split happening tonight after she loses inevitably to Alexa Bliss. Hopefully it goes about 60 seconds because I can't bear to watch 5 minutes of fucking Lily the Doll sitting on the goddamn turnbuckle, winking and fucking throwing fireballs or fucking coming to life. Right on SummerSlam's card on TV in front of 50,000 fucking people. I hope you know what you people paid money to see. Really. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't even know if this match is happening at this point, man. There are now rumors going around today that Sasha Banks is not going to be at SummerSlam. Sasha Banks is not going to be at SummerSlam, and it's got a lot of people concerned. Now, I don't know for sure if she will be there or not. WWE is advertising that Sasha Banks will be there. But Ringside News is reporting that Sasha Banks is expected to miss SummerSlam. According to a report from PW Insider, Sasha Banks' SummerSlam status has not changed. When asked about what's going on with Sasha, it was slated that the belief is that she will not be able to work SummerSlam. The latest we have heard is that she is not expected to perform at SummerSlam, end quote. And that is all PW Insider has stated. Now, I mentioned this on the podcast last night during the SmackDown portion of the show. If WWE is still advertising this match, then they are the proponent of doing the worst thing possible. Unless they have somebody else planned to take Sasha's spot, that's one thing. Number two, if Sasha's not going to be on that show, you need to replace Sasha Banks with somebody of equal value to Sasha Banks, and the only woman that will do that is Becky Lynch. I don't think bringing Becky Lynch back in this instance is going to be a winning combination. Not only are you doing harm to Bianca Belair, who's finally starting to hit her groove now. Now, maybe the original plan was for Bianca to lose the championship anyway. Maybe the original plan was for Sasha to get the championship back, so no matter who they put in there, the outcome is still going to remain the same. But Becky Lynch coming back and winning the SmackDown Championship, that kind of swings the tide back to SmackDown having an absolutely stacked women's division when you consider all things that they have. Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Toni Storm. It's one hell of a fucking division, man. It's way one-sided compared to Monday Night Raw. You don't want to do that. When we all know Monday Night Raw needs some dire fucking help on Monday night. But is Becky Lynch going to come back and make a difference on this night? I just fail to see it. I fail to see it. What is she going to do that's going to be so great for the women's division? WWE, look at what they have done with the women's division on Friday night, man. Tegan Nox wasted. Shotzi wasted. Where's Toni Storm? 5 weeks without Toni Storm. 5. Where is she? Where is she? If Becky Lynch wins the championship, if she's back, this is just speculation. If Becky Lynch is replacing Sasha Banks and she does win the women's championship, who is Becky Lynch going to wrestle right out of the gate? Is it going to be Sasha Banks? Because as far as I'm concerned, if Sasha is in this match and she beats Bianca, then that logically could slot Toni Storm to come back to television and be that babyface to Sasha's heel. So not only is that going to be ruined, Toni Storm might not even be on television. And her spot may get pushed back. That's not right. WWE seemingly, in one fell swoop, fucking up creative, fast-tracking Becky Lynch. She will be there. And it's not really doing anything for Bianca because she's going to be put in a situation where I don't think anybody in that arena is going to expect Becky Lynch to lose her first match back. Then, the SmackDown Women's Division is going to be completely one-sided compared to Monday Night Raw and how miserable that division looks. Becky would fit better on Raw than she would on SmackDown, even though Seth, her husband, is on SmackDown. You could always move him in the draft back to Monday Night Raw. I don't see him winning the World Championship anytime soon on SmackDown anyway. So I don't know what's going on there. Either way, Bianca's losing the championship. If it was Sasha, Bianca's losing the championship. If it's Becky, Bianca's losing the championship. I don't like the way that they brought Sasha back to television. I don't like that they built this storyline off of, well, we won an ESPY together, but you kept me out for 4 months because of a hair whip at WrestleMania that left a noticeable gash on the side of my body. I'm sorry, didn't we see this hair whip used every fucking week after Sasha Banks was out? It's almost as if WWE made it a thing to use the hair whip in every match. So if it kept Sasha Banks out, then everybody that she used it on after Sasha Banks should be where Sasha Banks was for 4 months. Right? Lame. I do appreciate that Sasha came back as a heel. I do appreciate the level of work in the last couple of weeks that Bianca Belair has shown. Finally, she starts to feel like the EST. That she knows that she's the bitch and the fucking leader of this division. After being nice and smiley and humble and, oh my God, I'm just happy to be here. Fuck that. For the last 2 weeks, we finally have started to see the NXT version of Bianca Belair. But other than that, this is just WWE resting on their laurels. Oh, they had a great match at WrestleMania. We don't need to do much as far as telling the story. Let's run it back again because everybody loved it. They'll duplicate that and it'll make SummerSlam better. Little to no effort at all is needed. Going with Sasha or whoever Sasha is replaced by to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. The Mysterios versus the Usos. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. There's no reason to believe that the Usos are losing this tag team title. None. They will be the tag team champions going into Barclays Survivor Series, where we will see The Rock return after at the 25-year anniversary. And the Mysterios, it looks like they're building a internal storyline between Rey and Dominic, where Dominic is going to turn on his father for being very rebellious. He's very cocky. He thinks he's doing everything that he thinks is right for the team, and when they win, it's all him and what he's doing to help the team. And Rey Mysterio's like, whoa, you got to humble yourself. You got to take it easy. Take a step back. Assess what's going on. Be patient. Be vigilant. We got a rebellious son and an overly anxious and knowledgeable father that I think are going to be feuding. What sense that makes, I don't know. I'm not really interested in seeing Dominic feud with Rey, but WWE can ill afford to break up another tag team in their fucking company. They don't have many tag teams to give them the liability of breaking teams up. I don't understand it. WWE is ridiculous when they want to break up tag teams, man. They just do it for whatever reason. Like they get bored. There's nothing more we can do with this. Let's break them up. And you know how I feel about the Usos. I don't even think this match should be happening at the fucking pay-per-view. In fact, the way I would have booked it is I would have had Otis and Gable beat the Mysterios at Money in the Bank, had Otis and Gable be the tag team champions going into SummerSlam, and would have had the Street Profits come back, get revenge on Otis and Gable for putting them out for a month, and have Otis and Gable versus the Street Profits at SummerSlam. But not everybody can be in Hawaii. Let's go on a drunken binger and fucking get rewarded with tag team championships. There you go. Usos are winning, and there's no doubt about it. Mysterio and Dominic are headed for a father-son feud. Wherever that happens and however it happens, I don't know. Maybe it starts tonight. Maybe we get Dominic turning heel on his father. AJ Styles and Omos versus Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Tag team championships on Monday Night Raw. There's no doubt in my mind that Randy Orton and Matt Riddle are winning this. It makes no sense for AJ and Omos to win this and retain. The ceiling has been met with these two. Riddle and Orton are going to be your new tag team champions. And the priority here is to get Matt Riddle to the next level. That's what needs to happen. Everything that you've played up on Monday Night Raw is and should be for Matt Riddle. Randy Orton's back. Randy Orton RKO'd him. I had a lot of people tell me, well, aren't we going to get Randy Orton versus Matt Riddle now at SummerSlam? No. It was always about tough love. It was always about Randy Orton proving a point. It was always about Matt Riddle being genuine and being a good person. He appreciates what Matt Riddle, or what this team is between him and Randy Orton. He appreciates RK Bro. He appreciates Randy Orton. He wants to befriend Randy Orton. And Randy Orton said, listen, after all that I said to you, and the attitude that I've given you, and the RKO that I gave you out of nowhere, you're still here wanting to be my friend, wanting RKO to flourish, and you didn't even bat an eyelash. Now, normally I say respect should be earned. Tonight, kid, you earned my respect. And then the tag team match was made, and I knew exactly where that was going. So kudos to WWE for telling a genuine storyline. Probably the only bright spot on Monday Night Raw. But after they win the tag team championships, it will soon crumble. It will soon crumble. Randy Orton will get frustrated. Either one of two things are going to happen. One, Matt Riddle's going to steal his thunder. Two, Randy Orton is going to do all the work and say, you know what? I'm carrying this fucking team. I don't need you. You're holding me back. Fuck these tag team titles. Give him an RKO, turn arm, turn heel. Then we get the match happening between Riddle and Orton. But the priority, I said it Monday during the post show, and I'm going to say it again. The entire priority here is to build Matt Riddle. Win the tag team titles. Have Matt Riddle become a bigger babyface for it when Randy Orton turns on him. We get the match between the two, and Matt Riddle wins, moving him up the ladder. You're going to need main event guys sooner rather than later. Riddle is in prime position to become one with this feud. If the end goal is not to make Matt Riddle a viable contender for the WWE Championship, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing for the last 6 months. I don't. I don't want to hear anybody or what anybody has to say. That is what needs to be done. Riddle and Orton win the tag team championships. There's no other decision to be made. Sheamus versus Damian Priest. I'm not into it. I love Priest. I think he's got a huge upside. I think Sheamus has been, with the whole injury bug and the broken nose, I think his United States Championship has been fucking a complete waste of time. I want to say Damian Priest wins this, but I don't see how we go and get Damian Priest a United States Championship run and what happens to him after he beats Sheamus. You know WWE wants their rematches. You know they want their rematches. They're going to need another match for the pay-per-view next month. If Damian Priest wins this championship now, then what does it mean for this feud? It means it's over, and it shouldn't be seen again. But Damian Priest has been feuding with Morrison. Damian Priest has been feuding with Miz. Damian Priest has been feuding with Moist TV. He's been on Moist TV and Miz TV and fucking Drip Sticks and fucking Johnny Drip Drip and fucking all this other shit. Pools with rubber duckies in it. Blasting the Miz for being fake, injuring himself. I don't get it. He's been feuding with those guys more than he's been feuding with the United States champion. So what that means to me is that Sheamus is going to beat Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is going to get the championship back after they finally put Priest and Sheamus in a legit feud. After he moves on from this Moist TV shit, Damian Priest gets the title at the next pay-per-view, and he doesn't win the championship tonight. That's what I'm going with. Because you know WWE's got to give you their rematches. If Priest wins this match, where do they go next? You got to think in terms of WWE. If Sheamus wins, hey, we got another 4 weeks. We could build this match. We got another 4 weeks of TV. Another segment every week. I think that's the way to go, Vince. That's a great idea, Bruce. Sheamus wins and retains the United States Championship. Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. If there's another match outside of Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss, where I will be either cleaning dishes, scooping cat shit, taking a nap, making a snack in the kitchen, making a cup of coffee, it's this match here. Shanky and Veer are not going to be able to be at ringside. I joked around, watch Jinder Mahal drag out the great Khali and have him interfere in this match. Can you imagine? This feud has been absolutely fucking hideous. I don't know what we're fighting over here, man. We're fighting over swords. We're fighting over destroyed motorcycles. We're fighting over the fear of Drew McIntyre taking a sword to each one of these guys' throat. What are we fighting over? Each one of these guys tried to steal the sword, break the sword. They had a replica of the sword. Meanwhile, Drew McIntyre had the real sword. What are we doing here, folks? Have we gone away from really telling captivating wrestling stories? Not one instance it was brought up that they were both in 3MB. Not one instance did they play off their history. Meanwhile, if you guys remember during the pandemic last year in the Performance Center, Heath Slater came back to WWE TV at the behest of Drew McIntyre, and Heath Slater versus Drew McIntyre happened on Monday Night Raw. I would be more interested in what was a match between Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater than I would be against Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre was standing in that ring listening to Heath Slater cut a fucking promo, and I was more interested in what Heath Slater had to say about Drew McIntyre than anything that we've seen in 6 weeks with these two fucking geeks. What happens here? Drew McIntyre has been removed from the WWE Championship situation. In WWE's eyes, Drew McIntyre can do no wrong. If they really want to push Jinder Mahal and get Jinder Mahal over, which I don't know why, then I would assume Jinder Mahal beats Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's been on the winning end with the sword every week. Either you give Jinder the win or he looks like a complete schmuck. I'm going with Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre is bulletproof in the eyes of Vince McMahon. Going with Jinder Mahal to get the victory. Edge versus Seth Rollins. I think this has been the second best feud built up going into SummerSlam. I'm genuinely excited to see what these two guys do in the ring. I love the fact that they threw back to 2014. I loved what Edge has brought to the table as far as his intensity. His promo work has been out of this world amazing. He's a master at what he does. What he did on Friday, this past Friday, yesterday was amazing. We got to throw back to the Brood with the Brood entrance and the bloodbath on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has done some great promo work himself. And I love his intensity. I love the way he dips in and out of psychotic crazy, laughing maniacally like the Joker, and then getting serious the very next second. I just don't know if it translates well. I think he does it great. I just don't know if it comes off well, and I don't know if I could see it as a long-term thing I want to see at a higher spot on the card. A champion in a feud with Roman. I don't see it. But for somebody like Edge, I think it worked great. I think it works great. Now, as far as what we have here, I already got Bobby Lashley beating Goldberg. I got John Cena inevitably losing to Roman Reigns. I don't think we're going to see all three legends lose on the same night. I think Edge is going to get his victory back. If you remember, Edge won the Royal Rumble. Edge, he lost at WrestleMania. Edge lost to Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. And I don't think Edge is going into SummerSlam losing. Now, Edge is bulletproof. Edge can do no wrong. He's one of those guys that can do no wrong. But I don't see Edge losing another match this year. I don't. Especially this one. I'm going with Edge. I think it's going to be outside of Reigns and Cena, the match of the night. And I'm very excited to see what they do. I thought what they've done has been very intense, very direct, very old school and methodical in approach. And I'm excited to see what these two guys do. I think they'll bring it, and the crowd in Las Vegas should be very happy about what they both produce. Because Edge has come back, and he's been on top of his game, not only verbally, but in the ring as well. He looks fantastic. And Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal Championship. This is the main event of SummerSlam. John Cena chasing number 17. But what they did last night on SmackDown kind of ruined everything for me. If Roman Reigns loses, he leaves WWE. If he doesn't walk out as the Universal Champion, he doesn't get to stay in WWE anymore. He's gone. Now, why would you do that? Why would you go and do that? Now, I already have my reservations about what WWE's done with this match. I already have my reservations about what WWE has produced in these segments with these two. Most of it's been unscripted, which is great. I would never want to script a Roman Reigns or John Cena. But what we've gotten from these two verbally, it's been forced. I don't think John Cena's been watching the current WWE product. I think the way he describes Roman Reigns, especially last night was fine. I thought last night was probably the best back and forth between the two. I do think that what John Cena was talking about last week in regards to Roman Reigns, I don't know if he was watching the current WWE product because it sounded like he's talking about the old Roman Reigns. And Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns last night said, how many days have I been undefeated? Who's beat me? And Paul Heyman said, nobody has ever beaten this Roman Reigns. And I thought that was thrown in there by design because, again, I stand behind what I say. I thought John Cena was talking about the old Roman Reigns last week. Now, I'm excited for this match, but I'm not excited as I should be for this match. I think WWE has taken everything for granted here. I think because they nearly sold out, not quite a sold-out crowd for Allegiant Stadium. I think that they had most of the majority of the tickets sold with that one match announced, that they were bringing back John Cena and putting him against Roman Reigns, that they didn't have to do much of anything with a near sellout crowd. It's SummerSlam. People are already there. We don't have to do much of anything. It's Roman Reigns and John Cena. Just go out there and cut promos on each other. But they really haven't brought it to the next level. It seems like it's never gotten out of that second or third gear. We should be full throttle ahead with these two. And I feel like it's just remained stagnant. I feel like it's whatever. Now, the match tonight should produce a gem. There's no doubt in my mind that Roman Reigns is going to tell a great story. There's no doubt in my mind that John Cena is going to bring it tonight. But I feel WWE was very lifeless in approach to this feud. They took everything for granted based on who Roman Reigns is and who John Cena is and where they are at the main event of this show. We don't have to do much because it's Roman and John. That's a terrible way to go about it. If you're building Edge and Seth Rollins the way that you have, and it's been great, why not show that same amount of effort for Roman Reigns and John Cena? Roman Reigns is the best thing on WWE television, and John Cena's been away for a very long time. Very long time. So why not bring him back and talk about what Roman Reigns has done to the WWE? He's been a nightmare to the WWE roster. And we really haven't focused on that. Roman Reigns directing his anger towards John Cena, going away and doing movies and, doing all this cheesy shit. He comes back, he's the same John Cena. It's like working missionary position every single night. John Cena throwing it back at Roman Reigns, saying that he's the same tired gimmick and a manufactured product of WWE. You're talking about the old Roman, bro. The new Roman isn't a manufactured product of WWE. They took everything for granted. And they went into this not thinking about what they need to do and how to maximize their minutes on television. Oh, it's Roman and John Cena. People will enjoy it because of who is in the main event. It's all about the story, they say. But the story in this case is half-assed. And with the stipulation announced last night where if Roman doesn't walk out as Universal Champion, he leaves WWE, where's he going? He just made the match overly predictable with that stipulation. It's like a fucking Cody Rhodes stipulation. John Cena brings a level of unpredictability to everything he does. This is why I hate the fact we never got a John Cena versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania. You're going into a Roman Reigns match with a predictable fucking outcome? John Cena versus The Undertaker WrestleMania never happened, and I fucking hate it. Can you imagine at WrestleMania 30 if we got that match, which should have been? The near falls on The Undertaker from John Cena. Can you imagine the level of hate that John Cena would have had if he beat The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania instead of Brock Lesnar doing it? People would have lost their shit. John Cena brings a level of unpredictability that nobody brings to anything in WWE. Just because he's John Cena. And he always pulls out a big match. They don't call him Big Match John for a reason. But after this stipulation last night, he's not winning this match. And if WWE wants to pull the rug out from everybody and give us a shock, it doesn't make sense because Roman, in no way, shape, or form, should ever be without that Universal Championship. Ever. He's undefeated for a reason. He said so for a reason. Paul Heyman made it a priority to say nobody will ever beat this Roman Reigns for a reason. Roman Reigns wins. It's a great match. John Cena comes back at Madison Square Garden, puts Finn Balor over on his way to doing Hollywood, and Balor gets Roman at the next pay-per-view. That's my prediction. Roman Reigns walks out as Universal Champion, as it should be. Guys, I am going to go over the Super Chats in just a second. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me tonight on the podcast. We are nearing 3.5 hours here on Off the Script, episode 387, man. I am out of my fucking mind. Out of my fucking mind, man. Let's get into Super Chats. Let's get into the Super Chats, man. Let me get into, I know there were a couple before the show, so let me see who you guys are and shout you out appropriately, because I love everybody and all the support you've given me, man. We got Demon G with a $4.99 Super Chat. I swear, bro, all I need is for the crowd to chant CM Punk during this show anytime, especially during a promo, and that will be direct insults to Bruce and Vince. I think we'll see a couple of CM Punk chants tonight, man. I really do. Especially during the matches that nobody gives a shit about. Jimmy Fingers with a $5.19 Super Chat. The crowd was so loud that I could barely hear Cult of Personality. I know, man. I know all about it, bro. I watched it back several different fucking times. In Make Believe with a $5 Super Chat. CM Punk is back. Danielson is on the horizon and all out. JD got 6,000 live stream viewers. God, I love wrestling. And by the way, did you get the new shirt, JD? Yes, I did, man. Hoot Media secured me a shirt. So shout out to Hoot Media. Munchie Time with a $4.99 Super Chat. Listening to the podcast while in a powerless school due to a storm overnight. Glad I have something to listen to while I work. OTS for life. Fuck Bill Goldberg. Thank you, Munchie Time. I appreciate you, man. Hooligan with a $5 Super Chat. Anyone see Tony Khan's face during last night's scrum? Congrats on the massive turnout last night. Fuck SummerSlam. OTS for life. Best in the world. Thank you, brother. HD the King Savage with a $4.99 Super Chat. Signature GTS IPA, please. To Queens from Harlem. Thank you, brother. Saints 2025 with a $4.99 Super Chat. Vince has been panic calling Lesnar all day. Guaranteed. Lesnar's not going to be at the show tonight. Kevin Mulvey with a $5 Super Chat. Looking forward to Edge vs. Seth. Cena vs. Reigns. Should be a decent show. Love from Ireland. Thank you, brother. Those are the two matches I'm looking forward to as well. Michael Menzies with a $5 Super Chat. Hey, JD, reserving my seat later for tonight. I'll order a Roman Superhero Island for when the Tribal Chief retains. Enjoy SummerSlam, OTS fam. Cheers to all. Thank you, brother. Magician Sapphire with a $10 Super Chat. TK playing chess, not checkers. Hats off to him. Chess, checkers, poker, the guy has got it done, man. Masterful is Tony Khan. Lauren Hutton with a $5 super chat. SummerSlam predictions. Usos, Alexa, McIntyre, Charlotte, Edge, Priest, Sasha, Lashley, RK Bro, Cena. Cena's not winning. Sasha may not even be there. I think Jinder's going over McIntyre. Alexa is definitely winning. The Usos are winning. And I think Sheamus is retaining the United States Championship. Versified with a $4.99 super chat. If TK bought the licensing rights to play the final countdown, then my God, bro, it's already in the bag. Tony Khan has already secured the licensing rights to Final Countdown by Europe, bro. No doubt about it. Dan Hackett with a $9.99 super chat. Punk's debut is bigger than Hogan slamming Andre or turning heel in WCW. It shows that Tony Khan puts fans first instead of profits first like Vince and Nick Khan. Absolutely, man. I don't know if it's bigger than Hogan slamming Andre, man. I mean, you're talking about an iconic moment that will live in the annals of wrestling history. Come on now. But yes, WWE puts profits first and Tony Khan puts fans first. Meanwhile, the fans are going to make Tony Khan a profit. Everything that Tony Khan is doing is going to come back to him 1,000-fold. 1L with a $2 super chat. Roman retiring The Rock in LA at WrestleMania. Bro, we're not waiting until LA. It's happening in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. Antoine Richardson with a $1.99 super chat. The Rock is Cena's greatest opponent. No, he is not. No, he is not. Not even close. Cesaro's Beach Ball with a $4.99 super chat. Roman has zero self-awareness. He's in Hawaii and he has no awareness of how that has helped him. He's talented, but his family lineage helps. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Blue Blitz Review with a $2 super chat. JD, what are some of your favorite demolition moments? I don't have a favorite demolition moment, man, but anytime they were in the ring with the Hart Foundation, tickles me pink, man. Love it. Two of the best tag teams of all time. Jericho 8131, $5 super chat. Roman's privilege was showing in that interview. People need to be assertive, yet they fire Bray for being assertive over his character's direction. Yeah. I mean, he'll never let anybody know that. I mean, why would Roman say, yeah, well, I'm here because of who my family is? And Roman's going to take all the credit for himself. That's what he does. Demon G, $4.99. What's up, JD? Hope you're well. Please name all superstars buried across all three brands, even those who were wasted and released. Bro, I'd be here for another 3 hours. I'd be here for another 3 hours, bro. I got dinner to eat and SummerSlam to watch. Extreme Fighter with a Euro $5 super chat. Love the podcast, JD. I never missed a show. Here's a little something to show my gratitude for your hard work on the show. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro. Paul Jackson with a $4.99 super chat. Sick of WWE. Marks. Keep speaking the truth, JD. My beverage of choice is Fathead Bumbleberry. Also, were you ever a fan of Ronnie James Dio? Absolutely, man. Dio is great. Dio actually inspired one of my favorite vocalists, Russell Allen from Symphony X, man. You hear a lot of his influence in Russell Allen singing for Symphony X. $9.99 super chat by DJ. I still have butterflies from last night and still will have butterflies in the future for what's to come. I'm so excited. I'm happy that pro wrestling is back. Jake Weeks with a €179 super chat. You expect anything big tonight to hit back at AEW? No, I don't. No, I don't. If Sasha is out, I expect Becky, but that's about it. Omni Entertainment with a $5 in UK super chat. I was wrong in thinking CM Punk wasn't returning to pro wrestling. Catching the replay now, but good job on gathering the live viewers of over 5K. Thank you, Omni. It was 5,700 to be exact, but who's counting, bro? Video's almost got 5,000 likes as well, man. Hopefully we kill it tonight for SummerSlam. Mr. Cake with a $10 super chat. Vince needs to get this in his head. You can't do the old NXT formally without Dusty Rhodes. Also, as a side note, the NXT Tag Team division is done for under this new regime, which is a shame because NXT, even though they have a light tag team division, have the best tag team division in all WWE. Coil Phoenix with a $50 super chat. Thank you, Coil Phoenix. If I may say a little prayer for NXT, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us NXT and giving us so many wonderful matches and stars that we love till this day. NXT might be dead, but it will forever be in our hearts. In your name we pray, amen. That was beautiful, Coil. I know every year I'll be watching some of those highlights back, man. I really am. So many matches, man. So many matches they produced out of NXT that were just gems. We got Lockie Watson with 2 New Zealand $5 super chats. Lashley getting pinned by Goldberg, who will get cashed in on by Big E. Then they can make Bobby and Big E feud for months as neither have pinned the other. It's exactly what I said in the predictions, Mr. Watson. Ronda Rousey is pregnant. She's not coming back tonight at all. Guardian of Chaos, fair, firm, and consistent. You always deliver. This is the fucking place to be, and that's a shoot. Mahalo, bro. Thank you, Guardian, as always, brother. Thank you for being with me as long as you have, man. Riff Ragnar with a 666 super chat. Love it. I don't see Goldberg losing a third match in a row, especially to a heel. I see him winning and celebrating with his son. I'd love to be wrong. Bro, if that's the case, then SummerSlam is fucked. WWE will be talked about for all the wrong reasons. But they don't give a fuck what's wrong or right. They just want to be talked about. I could see it. I could absolutely see it. Louis Rex this with a $4.99 super chat. Bro, you were so right when you said AEW will look different in 2 years since its start. Well, 2 years later, and I'll be damned. Cheers to you, sir. What'd I tell you guys? The foundation of AEW was never gonna look the way that it was when it started. You just knew. Indigo with a $5 super chat. JD, much respect. Last night was beyond lit. Tonight, can't wait for Double or Nothing to attend. My first event on September 22nd. Another awesome episode of OTS. Thank you, Indigo. You can't wait for All Out, I'm assuming. You said you put Don All Out. And I may not be at that New York show. I don't know yet. Troy Turner with a $5 super chat. Punk ruined anything WWE had planned for SummerSlam. Poetic justice, in my opinion. OTS for life. Thank you, Troy. Justin Striplin with a $4.99 super chat. Back at it again. And did you get any rest? This is why you're the man and way better than everybody else. OTS is the best. Bro, I got no rest, and I will probably not rest tonight either. At all. Tribal Chief with a Canadian $5 super chat. Punk was so emotional that he forgot to swipe the floor and say his catchphrase. Great to hear Cult of Personality. Felt like Raw after Money in the Bank 2011. I don't think he forgot. I just think he wanted to live in the moment, man. He'll do it when he wrestles Darby at All Out. And Nimai Naran, or Naryan, with a $9.99 super chat. Even thought it won't be bigger moment. Do you think Vince has The Rock come out after Roman wins to counter CM Punk last night? No. No, I do not. I don't think The Rock comes out in Las Vegas. Listen, man, there's always a possibility, but I don't think so. And if anything happens like that, then you know that they're trying to counter and react to CM Punk and AEW. And it would not be a surprise to me at all. Guys, I am getting out of here, man. I am getting out of here. I am exhausted. I don't know if I'll have time to rest before SummerSlam, but I got to set the live stream up so you guys can reserve your seats in the venue for later. This mega weekend continues, man. Tonight for SummerSlam, I will be live after the show is over. Hopefully, I'm alive for you guys, and hopefully we fill the venue 4,000 deep tonight. Make sure you guys remember, man, I'm giving away a tipple glass. This could be yours tonight. We're giving it away. Everybody that buys a drink at the bar, a.k.a. Super Chats, on tonight's SummerSlam stream is going to be in a raffle, in a drawing to win this, and Hoop Media is going to moderate it and announce the winner at the end of the stream. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all the other videos, including last night's Rampage and SmackDown coverage. CM Punk is back. We talk all about it. Jesse even called in as he was there live inside the United Center for history being made. Go get your t-shirts, bonfire.com. Everything you need is linked underneath the video. Click the shirt you want. It'll take you right to Bonfire's website. And go check out Manscaped, man. Please do so. Manscaped.com. Use code SCRIPT20 at checkout to save 20% off their new Lawnmower 4.0. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I got my cold beverage. The Mustang is right outside the office window. I'm getting in it. The windows are down. I'm hitting the highway. I'll be back inside the venue tonight for SummerSlam, but I need two things before we get back here tonight. Number one, I need those guitar emojis in the chat. Number two, when that guitar solo comes on, I need that music on max. I'll see you tonight for Summer Scam from Las Vegas inside the venue right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.